Look, guys, stop sending me lawsuits. At this point, the Facepalm warning, it should just be kind of known. You watch my channel, you need to come with adequate facepalm protection. FTFE Industries does not accept responsibility for any further facepalm related injuries. God.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now.
Good morning. These words come with a storm warning. Better batten down the hatches, grab some matches and brace yourself for a long day of misery. YouTube has given me the power to reach up into the sky and show you all that we live on the ball. I bring you science that's comprehensible. Your view is indefensible. You're reprehensible.
Go on, Mr. Sensible.
When I was young, I never thought I would be here to see this. A pile of random nonsense dressed up as bullshit. Your ignorance will be the death of us all, like running head first full speed into a wall. You could always read a book, buy a telescope, set it up and take a photo of the moon, or just be a buffoon. I send you in a balloon up to the stratosphere in page 3.
You're a few fries short of a happy meal. You're dumber than a box of hair. The wheel's spinning but the hamster's dead, and you're as smart as bait. You forgot to pay your brain bill. You're missing a few buttons on the remote control. 24 cents short of a quarter. You're surfing in Nebraska. You're as bright as Alaska in December, and you fell out of your family tree. You don't have all the cornflakes in one box. You got an IQ of 2 and it takes 3 to grunt. The elevator doesn't go all the way up, and there's a vacancy on the top floor. Your antenna doesn't pick up all the channels. You're several nuts short of a
You're Mr.
fruitcake.
Sensible, calm down, don't go too hard. You don't need the hard slap burying Flerfs in your backyard. You're a man of science, poise and grace. Mage 2 did everything to wipe the grins off the face. So Nathan, get away from those kids. The world is not flat and it doesn't have a lid. Recognise the differences between the textbook and the Bible and control yourself. Lay off your slander and your lies. You're a bunch of knobs poisoning the well of the youth, spreading lies that you like to claim as knowledge and truth. Stop spreading fresh bullshit like the butter on your bread. Maybe a musical assault and knock some sense into your head. I hope one day you'll hear these lyrics and smile, and you realise you used to be a 40-year-old child. Now it's time to wake up, open your eyes and see, and acknowledge the existence of.
You're a few clowns short of a circus. Your phone is off the hook. Your sewing machine is out of thread. You're all foam and no beer. You don't have all your dogs on one leash. An intellect rivaled only by garden tools. There's no grain in your silo, and your skylight leaks a little. Your belt doesn't go through all the loops. You couldn't pour water out of the boot without instructions on the heel. Your slinky's kinked, and you're proof that evolution can work in reverse. A few feathers short of a whole duck, one fruit
Can we
loop short of
pretend
a
that
full bowl.
airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now.
You thought it was over? Well, I'm still standing while you're swinging, flinging feces, talking shit just like the human centipede. You got the mind of a chimp, and I'm here to expedite your shore leave. Cause I'm a seaman, but not the kind I rinse up from your mum's gums. I'm the kind that sailed submarines and fired guns. I could float a boat across the ocean with my eyes closed, circumnavigate the globe with a compass and a bag of sausage rolls. Well, all you can do is nibble on your toes. I'll smack you with the hose that you taught a water level, sit and swivel. You nasal gazing muppet, you can stuff it harder than the wallet stuffed by Warren Buffett. And I don't care about your sauces unless you're serving them. And I don't care about your lines unless you're curving them. Now step away from me, you're sucking up my oxygen with the vacuum where your brain should be, you dumb fuck.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
I'm FTFE, welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what Sony are doing to the PlayStation brand right now. Yeah, nerd alert stuff, but if you watch that state of play, oof, what are you playing at, Sony? Tonight is the night where I go over to the Discord server of Derp, the Tartaria Cosmology Discord server full of some of the lowest IQ people that could possibly be found on this round Earth. Because I hate myself, I guess. Normally I would debate the entire server, but tonight, Jin, specifically, Jin CBR1 has challenged me to a 1v1, and, you know, I enjoy smashing my head against a brick wall as much as the next man, so fuck it, why not, right? Already got a new member, so welcome to Scrappers. It's a Rubik's, thank you very much, and, excuse me. An Icy Spin for $4.99 says, Brain Smoosh Therapy Fund. Yeah, much needed. So, yeah, let's do it. I mean, why not, right? I hate myself, I guess. Let me get them up on the screen so we can see what is going on over there in the land of dumb. Yeah, Jin is in there, waiting. So let's do it, let's go. Yeah. Good evening, FTFE Cosmology. How are we doing?
Welcome, Craig.
How you doing, Shane?
Welcome. Fantastic, man. We're chilling. This is going to be a good time. Everyone likes a good dumpster fire. I mean show.
Yeah, no, you were right the first time. Lovely to hear your dulcet tones as ever. So yeah, I've explained to my chat how normally I come here and, you know, speak to all of you, and, you know, that will be the case, I'm sure, a bit later. But Jin specifically wanted to have a word with me. And in fact, he was very, very insistent about having a word with me. So
I never said, Craig, you are strawmanning me. I never said I wanted to have a word with you.
Not you, Jim. I said Jin.
I never said that once, Craig.
Yeah, Jim, you are not the main character. This is not about you, Jim. I said Jin. Yeah, so take a breath.
Yes.
Wind your neck
Okay,
in.
well, seeing as time is pressing, let's get the introductions done first.
Yeah, so Shane is the moderator. So
we're going to move on quickly. We're going to move on.
Wait, hold on. Shane is the moderator. Shane is in charge, not you, Jin. So Shane will be the one that will do the introductions, and you will behave yourself as I will pretend to as well.
Yeah, please don't tell me to behave myself. You behave yourself.
Yeah, Jin, behave yourself.
Well, we're off. So here, let's just do this, right? Let's do 2 minute, two minute quick intros. I don't want to mute you both, right? But I feel like I might have to mute each of you at least once during this engagement. So this should be fun. Jin, give us 2 minutes, little intro. No interruptions, please, and off we go.
Okay, my intro is just going to be, you know who I am, Jin CBO. I'm the lad flat earther you will meet. I became a flat earther in 2015, and I just want to give a couple of big shout outs. One, Robert from the Planet Veritas, Robert QE, Quantum Eraser, what's his name? Nathan Oakley, and the Flat Earth Debate, Pseudos versus Science. And we've got the, who else is that one? Gem Pandas, Debate, Flat Earth, and more. And the stalwarts, that's Generism, Glusters, Dave Murphy, Eric Dubé, ODD, Celebrate Truth, that bunch. Okay, thanks very much. I've learned a lot from those people. Okay, and that's the end of my intro for now.
Nice.
That is the end of my intro.
Craig, a couple 2 minute intro.
Hey, I'm FTFE. I'm from the channel that Batman says, you know, does what he says he doesn't do when he beats everyone to death to stupidity. Anyway, so thank you for letting me come here. I'm here to debate Jin about the shape of the Earth. It was interesting you brought up Nathan Oakley, because I asked him something and he said this to me.
Hi, my name's Nathan Oakley, and I have been lying to people about the Earth being flat for a lot of years. I did this to hide the fact I have a small penis.
And then I asked QE what he felt.
I'm an idiot.
I'm stupid.
Moron. With an ugly face and a big butt, and my butt
Smells. And
we don't
I'd like
get
to
that
kiss
one.
my own.
butt.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I didn't hear that.
Oh, that one didn't come through. What shame. Anyway, so yeah, let's just do this. I'm sure Jin's got some kind of presentation or something to give me. So I'm sure,
Yeah.
absolutely positive it's full of flat Earth evidence, because you know that always happens. So bring it on, Jin. What you got?
Yeah, it's okay. Nice. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be approaching this. First of all, I'd like to give 20 seconds just to the most important flat earthers that lived, and that would be Samuel Rosebotham and Charles Johnson. Just 20 seconds starting from now. Hang on a sec.
What's happening?
Okay, we begin. That was silence for respect of the earlier flat earthers, Samuel Rotherham and Charles Johnson. Okay, now I'm representing all the children on the flat earth who go to school and they're learning about the globe. So the situation is the globe has a case to answer. So my introduction is this: we're at school, all of us now. We're 8 years old. We're being told the Earth is a globe for the first time. Now, the children thinking, a globe? Because up until that point, they would never have thought that they're living on a globe that is spinning. Okay, so if you asked a 6-year-old, 7, 8-year-old child, excuse me, son, excuse me, little girl, is the Earth a globe? And if you're asking me as well at that age, the answer would be, ladies and gentlemen, either
yes.
No, you're interrupting my presentation here. The answer would be no, or I don't know, because no child would know the Earth at that age, you know, that it's a globe. What would be the evidence they would have noticed to notice that? No one would have known that at that age, okay? So the question would be from the children to their teachers who are informing them of the globe, excuse me, sir, miss, do you have any physical proof of the globe Earth? Because I don't get it, missing. A globe, miss? A globe, sir? A globe? Can you show us the curvature, please? And can you show us the Earth spinning? And this would be when I'm back in the 1960s as a kid. So, but today, we're all here today, the same question. From the children of Earth today, sir, miss, can you please show us this curvature? Or something.
Easy.
I mean, how do we get here? Globe, sir, miss? Okay? That's the case from the children. Globe, case to answer. You go. Over to you now.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was waiting for some flat Earth evidence. Did you not have any?
Asking you, the globe. This is my presentation. You have the burden of proof.
So
of
your
course,
presentation was, if
so we're asking
ignorant,
you
don't know what the Earth
for the proof
is.
of globe.
Cool story.
So now you're throwing insults. Is that correct? Are you throwing insults?
I'm sorry.
already?
Do you take the
is
word
that,
ignorant as an insult?
Insulting. Hold on. So you're insulting the verb. Is that it? So you're insulting.
Are you getting triggered at the word ignorant? Is
who
that
are
what it
asking
is?
for proof? Is that the way you're rolling? Is that the way you're rolling?
You
is
do
that
know
the
you do
way
know
you're
the word
rolling?
ignorant
Of course,
is
the
an
children
insult.
are ignorant. Of course, the children are ignorant of the facts. Of course,
a bit like you. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's not throw Adam. Just get on with it. Where's the proof, please? Thank you.
Sorry, no, I'm
waiting.
just wondering if you had any flat Earth evidence to present or not. That was all.
That will come later. That will come later.
Well, let's do that now.
Case to answer. Where the fuck is the globe? Excuse the profanity there. Where the hell is the globe?
We're on it. Have you got any flat Earth evidence and we can discuss that? Or?
I'm asking for the evidence. We're on it. It doesn't cut it at all.
I asked you first.
Are asking you. The children are saying to you, they don't see the globe. Where is it?
Okay, well, what's your standard of evidence? What will you accept?
You're the one that says the Earth is a globe. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I can present you a whole bunch of evidence. You're just going to go, it's fake. So, I mean,
give us what you know.
I've measured
Remember,
the
you're
Earth
talking
curves.
to 8-year-old children.
I've determined that the Earth's
children-
curvature
the children
exists and
across the
proved the
world-
measurements are right. There's pictures and videos from space. You know, we can show all these to the kids and they go, oh, that's compelling evidence. Thank you very much.
Okay, hang on a second. We're talking to the children of Earth, and I'm their representative, okay? So,
no, you're not.
We're asking you
You're
for
no
evidence.
child's
Can you
representative.
start to give us one at a time? One at a time. What's your first evidence, please?
I'll show them Himawari. That's pretty good. And you're going to now say
Oh, that's
it's
a begging
fake.
the question. That's a begging the question fallacy. Straight
That's
off the
really
bat.
not a begging the question
Because we
fallacy.
can't.
It's showing you a satellite from space.
Yes, it is. I'll let you finish. Have you finished? Have you finished? Because I want to rebut that. Have you finished on that point? Because I'm going to rebut. Have you
Showing
finished
you a
on that
satellite
point?
from space
I'm
is a
asking you
begging
one
the
more
question,
time. Have you
fallacy.
finished on that point? Have you finished on that point? Because I'm going to rebut it now. Thank you. Don't interrupt my rebuttal.
You're going to try
please.
saying it's a
Do not-
fallacy and it's not because you don't know what a fallacy is. And I'm
It
going to
is a
interrupt
fallacy.
you because
Have you
you get
finished?
triggered.
Right.
Maybe.
Have you finished?
Maybe.
Have you
Carry
finished?
on. Maybe. Carry on.
I'll ask you one more time. Have
Yeah, carry
you
on.
finished?
Maybe. Carry on.
Yeah.
When you're ready.
That's not an answer. Have
That
you
was-
finished?
Yeah, maybe. Carry on. I'm waiting for you.
No, I'm not accepting a maybe. Have you finished? Yes or no?
Possibly. Carry on.
I'm not accepting possibly either.
Oh dear, you're
Have
not
you-
accepting it. What a shame. You can carry on or not. This is fun.
Have you finished so that the children can rebuttal your point of the satellite?
Are
Have
you
you
equating
finished
yourself to a child, Jin? Is that what you're doing?
on that point?
Makes sense.
I am. Yes, I absolutely am at this point. Yes,
IQ-wise, I
I'm
would agree. Yeah,
representing the
absolutely.
children. I am representing the children. Can you
Did
please
you ask the
not
children
just
if they want your
divert?
representation?
Have you
Did you ask
finished?
them?
I'll ask you one more time. I'll ask you one more time. Have you finished putting your case forward for the satellites? Have
Possibly.
you finished? Well, that's not an answer. It's a yes or no.
Nah, maybe. We'll see.
Children are waiting. Maybe it's
We'll
not
see.
good enough.
You
Children
finish
are
what
waiting.
you say. What you want to say, and we'll see how it goes.
Children. No, children are waiting. So
Yeah.
have you
Well,
finished?
they're waiting for you. Yes, Jin. Go ahead.
It's
carry
a
on.
yes or no. It's a yes or no. It's a yes or no because we haven't got much time. Yes
You've got plenty
or no.
of time. I've got all the time in the world.
No, I haven't. I haven't actually. I have not.
Oh,
Yes
you better
or
get
no?
on with it then, eh?
Well, that's why I'm waiting for you to say yes. I'm finished on that point. Let me now.
Yeah.
rebut
Well,
your
I'm not.
point.
It might be finished. I don't know. It
I
depends
am
what you say.
waiting for a yes or no. You're wasting the time, boy.
I
Come
don't
on.
know if I'm finished. It depends on what you say next.
Well, at the point you've raised so far is begging the question fallacy, and I'm asking. Have you
Satellites
finished
aren't
with that?
begging the
Because I'm
question.
gonna- I don't want you to interrupt me. So have you finished? Yes or no?
Satellites exist. It's not a begging the question fallacy.
Okay. Have you finished? Okay. Get it all
Possibly.
out.
It depends on what you
Get it
say
all out.
next.
No, well, the question is now: have you finished with that? Because you just said something.
Possibly.
else.
It depends
Have
on what you say
finished?
next.
The answer is yes.
Possibly. It depends on what you say
No,
next, Jin.
Possibly. The answer is yes or no. Yes. Yes. No. There's no possibly here. We're not doing.
Whenever you're ready,
possibly.
Jim,
Yes
we're
or
waiting
no.
for you.
I'm waiting for you. with
Uh-huh.
Yes
yeah,
or no at this
yeah,
point.
I'm not going to give you a yes or
Thank
no.
you.
You probably
Right,
should have
thank
figured
you
that out
very
by now.
much. Thank you very much.
No
Thank
worries.
you very
Please
much.
carry
Now,
on.
ladies and gentlemen, he's put up the ladies and gentlemen and the children who are listening. He's presented this, or he's mentioned the Himawari satellite. Now that means sunflower in Japanese. Okay, so Himawari in English is sunflower. Now that's a begging the question fallacy and a permanent consequence because he's telling us that satellites exist. Now,
They 100%
how have we
exist,
been
yeah.
able to? You're interrupting now.
Yeah, I did. You're right.
How are we able to confirm satellites are up there unless
Get a telescope and have a look.
we go there, ladies and gentlemen? Interrupting.
You
Unless
can track them with
we
many
are able
different
to
ways.
go there.
It's quite easy.
You're still interrupting.
Yes, I am. Well done. You're very clever, Jin. I applaud your
Yeah,
intelligence
but
for figuring
please
that out.
don't interrupt because I'm not going to interrupt you when you're speaking. I'm not going to interrupt.
Well, I'm going to interrupt you
Don't
because it makes you quite triggered and I'm enjoying it.
Don't interrupt me.
Whenever you're ready, carry
Don't
on.
interrupt me because I'm trying to
You
get my
just,
point out. I'm
all
trying to
you've
get
said
my
so
point out.
far
What do I
is
do?
it's a begging the question fallacy when satellites exist. So.
No, I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to explain why. But you know I'm going to damage you. That's why you. So don't interrupt. Can you calm down there? Thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, he's offered up a satellite. Now the
No idea
question
who was
is,
that.
how do we
That was
confirm?
great.
Yeah, how do we confirm that
Hey
satellite?
guys, you want to hear a funny story while we're all chatting?
No,
Yeah,
Jin
Hang on
speaking.
a second, please.
Who was that?
No.
Come in here. Come on, man. We cannot confirm that here. We
You
need
can.
to go to ensure that the satellite is where it said it is.
No,
and
you
that
can confirm it
also
from here.
evokes we're on a globe. Okay, and that's begging the question because it's.
It's not
confirmed.
begging the question,
it's a
fallacy.
globe,
We know
and it's-
satellites
Hang on, don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt, man. I'm nearly there. I didn't interrupt
That's
you.
what she said.
I gave you a lot of room to get your. I gave you a lot of room to get your satellite out. Yeah, can I now rebut without interruptions? Can that happen? Thank you.
Maybe.
So, ladies and
We'll see how
gentlemen,
it goes.
as I was trying to say, ladies and gents, is that he's offered up the satellite. We're saying, how can he confirm that? The only way you would be able to do that is to go to space, and
No,
that's
it's not.
a begging
There's
the
many
question
other ways to
because
do it.
You're interrupting again. I haven't finished.
I am, yeah.
You know, I'm getting to my point. Why do you keep interrupting when I'm getting to my point?
I'm just rebutting what you're saying.
You're interrupting. Don't interrupt him.
Are you interrupting to interrupt for interrupt's sake now? Can we let him finish? Like at one point, maybe.
I mean, he's been trying to say the same thing for about 10 minutes. I'm sorry.
But you're interrupting. I haven't finished. You're interrupting. I haven't finished. I'm putting the case of how we can confirm that the satellites are up there. So, ladies and gentlemen,
there's many ways to confirm it. Yeah.
This interruption. It's basically this, ladies and gents.
All right, go ahead, Jin.
Confirm that satellites are up there. As far as I'm concerned, the only way you would be able to do that is to go there. This is the begging the question fallacy, because it's also affirming that it opens the globe. And you're still interrupting, and we haven't established that that is the case. The case is, where is the globe? Satellites do not prove that globes exist, and that's a begging the question with a satellite. I'll stop there for now. Carry on, your turn.
We can literally track the positions of satellites from the land. It's no secret satellites exist. You can triangulate the position of them. You can see them with telescopes. They exist. In fact, I'll be getting my internet from them as of June, so satellites are 100% real. I don't think you know what a begging the question fallacy is, to be quite honest. In fact, definitely don't know what a begging the question fallacy is. You can't debunk videos and pictures from space by going, I don't believe it exists. That's called personal incredulity and makes you look as dumb as you sound.
Oh, so thank you. So now you're insulting me, you big-nosed cunt.
No, it's not an insult to call you dumb. It's an accurate description.
Shut up, you big-nosed cunt. You're a big-nosed cunt.
Your mum doesn't like my big nose. She likes it.
A cripple who's lying to children. So shut your fucking mouth.
Your mum likes my big nose. In fact, could you ask me if I left my wallet on her desk last night?
With your fucking glasses, look like fucking.
Homo habilis discovering his opposable thumb says what?
Shut up, like Morgan and Wise. Shut up and sit down now. You unwise.
You know, sometimes clouds must look down on you
sorry,
and go,
kids,
"Whoa, that one looks like an idiot."
Sorry for the insults, but this is what you get. You know, these people will insult you when you're putting them under pressure. So I'll go back. You have no satellites in space.
How can you debunk the fact that you can debunk the fact that you can track them yourself?
The children are saying to you that satellites do not prove a shape of the Earth. Okay?
No, children wouldn't say that. Children would go, how do you know satellites are there? And I'd show them how satellites are there.
Satisfactory. Yes, I'm representing them. Unfortunately,
yeah, and they don't want your representation. They told me. We had a meeting last night. They emphatically said, please don't let Jin represent us. It's too embarrassing.
Fallacy there. So basically,
fallacy,
your satellites are bunk at the moment because
no, they're
you're
not
affirming the consequence.
There's no affirming the consequence.
That's affirming the consequence.
I didn't affirm the consequence at all. I said the satellites are there taking pictures of the globe.
You've affirmed that the globe exists when it doesn't. So
I don't think you know what affirming the consequence means.
Satellites are not confirming globe, okay?
Yeah, they absolutely do, yes. Just screaming they don't doesn't show that they don't.
Are all computer-generated images. They're not
You
real.
can see them yourself with telescopes.
No, you do not. I've never, ever seen a satellite in space, ever.
Have you ever tried to look through a telescope?
They're 22,000. They're supposed to be 22,000 miles away from Earth, right? And when I asked people what did they see,
there's some that are a lot closer.
They said a lot. They said they saw a light.
The majority of them are closer.
What they said they saw. And a light does not a satellite make in my book. The only way you would know
no one cares about your book because it's probably a colouring book.
The highest standard of integrity means you go to space and you confirm.
Yeah, people have been to space. Many people have been to space and they've seen satellites in space.
Let's move on. Let's move on. Your satellites.
Right, so your turn now. Your turn for some evidence of the flat Earth.
On you go. No confirmation. No confirmation.
So your personal incredulity. So let's get this clear. Your debunk of satellites is I don't believe it because I'm a red deer. Is that right?
Proving curvature of Earth here on Earth.
Oh no, it's your turn for evidence now.
Earth, please.
Jin, it's your turn for evidence now.
No, you haven't provided any.
Jin, it's your turn for evidence now. Off you go. Off you pop, son.
The children are.
When you're ready. When you're ready, son.
Hang on a second.
When you're ready, child.
The children. You haven't.
Yeah, the children are now asking you for evidence of flat Earth. The children have come to me and they said, do you reckon Jin's got evidence of flat Earth? No, probably not, because he's dumb as fuck, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, we have.
Well, go on then. All right. You have? All right, let's see it.
Okay, Big Nose, if you can shut up, Big Nose, and sit down.
Again, your mum loves my big nose.
All right, Big Nose.
So FTFE, you don't know how many times...
Who are you?
Shane, keep him quiet, please. Sorry, this is just Jin.
Okay, Big Nose, can you shut up now? Let me get this one of our first evidence up, yeah? You've heard of the black swan, haven't you? Yes? the black
Yeah,
swan.
the existence of black swan doesn't disprove white
Well,
swans.
I'm
so-
putting it up. Okay, so you've heard of
Well,
that.
refraction
That's a yes
exists,
or no.
therefore debunked.
That's a yes or no answer.
What was
yeah?
what was the question?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the black swan. We're at the west coast of California. We're looking at 2 oil rigs. The observation height is 12 inches, 1 foot off the coast there on the ocean. Okay, we're looking at 2
Well, with the
oil
highest
rigs.
amount of refraction, yes, brilliant.
Are you interrupting?
Yeah, I did, you're right, well done.
Keep interrupting? You're going to keep interrupting?
Yes,
so
I
I can't
am.
get my point out?
It's
You
fun.
want to listen to my point, or do you want to... Okay, I'll go quiet, you talk, whilst I don't present the point. Go ahead.
No, on you go. I'm waiting.
No, go ahead. Please go ahead. You've got a lot to say.
Oh,
Go
well,
ahead.
black swans are debunked by the fact that the refraction exists. Boom, done.
Okay. Have you now finished so I can carry on?
Well, I've debunked it. Refraction
You
exists.
haven't yet. You haven't yet. No, refraction is
Refraction.
bullshit. Have you
Does
finished?
refraction exist,
Have you
yes or no?
Which refraction are you talking about, first of all?
Refraction, the bending of light for a medium.
Which one? Which
Just
one?
refraction,
Which
the
one?
bending of light for a
Simple.
medium with a particular refractive index.
Okay. Okay, and okay, we're going to stick with that. So have you finished now so I can present...
Yeah,
the case
does
for the
refraction
children?
exist, yes or
Can I-
no?
Yes, it does exist.
Oh, well,
Yes,
there we
it
go.
does
So
exist.
black
to a
swans
certain degree.
wonderful. To a certain
it's not
degree.
debunked.
So
It's not
only
debunked.
until it
It's not
doesn't
debunked
fit
yet.
what you want. That's brilliant. I see.
I am actually going to present a case, but you're not letting me.
You're going to present a debunked
I've
case
answered, hang
of
on.
something that
I've
is
answered 2 of your
refraction. Brilliant.
questions whilst I'm trying to present my position here for the children. Can I do that?
The children
Go on.
don't want you to, just so you know.
Do you want?
Can I
Do you
do
want?
that without interruption? Can I do
Do you want a
that
quick
without
30 seconds for Jin? There we go.
Yeah, go on.
That's great. Right, thank you very much, because you're interrupting. I can't get the point out. Now, the black swan, ladies and gentlemen, well, like I said, the observation height at the coast is only 12 inches, 1 foot, and we can see 2 oil rigs. One oil rig is at 6 miles, and the other oil rig is at 10 miles. Now, if the Earth is of the circumference they tell us, which is 24,901 miles, the radius of which is 3,959 miles, ladies and gentlemen, then it stands to reason that the geometric horizon for a globe that big, of that size supposedly, at 12 inches observation height, is 1.22 miles, ladies and gentlemen, okay? But we're seeing 6 miles, we're seeing 10 miles, and on a really good day, ladies and gentlemen, we can see an island which is 29 miles away from the observation height. Now, the gentleman, the irresponsible gentleman, put up refraction. Now, ladies and gentlemen, refraction changes by the second, by the minute, all the time. You know, the atmosphere, the Earth's air that we breathe changes all the time. Now, what we're saying to you is that those oil rigs should not be seen. No refraction does that, ladies and gentlemen. That's the point I'm raising, and I will yield my position from now.
It's a lovely claim that you've made that refraction can't do that, but that's exactly what refraction does. 69 miles is 1 degree, light bending 1 degree is not an issue in any way, shape or form. In fact, this matches what we expect with refraction. We know there is refraction going on because we know that cranes aren't bendy and wavy like that, so we know that there is distortion in that picture and it's not an accurate representation of reality. So we absolutely 100% know that that's not what it actually looks like. And the fact that we can model it with known refractive indexes and differences in temperature and density. In fact, I'll just upload a quick picture here to the chat so everyone can see that it's actually easily modeled on a globe. There we go. Refraction can do that. There's no denying that that's what we expect.
Not to. All right, wait till you finish. Not to the point.
You keep saying that, but that's a claim that you would need to substantiate. Whereas
Well,
I'm
clearly
literally showing how
it's
it can
clearly,
be modelled.
it's clearly,
Based on known refractive qualities and known refractive quantification, we can model exactly how this would happen on the globe Earth. I'm showing it right now.
Excuse me, it's my turn now. Ladies and gentlemen, it is impossible to have
Lovely
an
claim.
exact... It's not... You're going to keep interrupting.
I'm going to ask for evidence of your claims every time you make an
Ladies and
unsubstantiated claim.
gentlemen, look, it is impossible to have a precise refraction index as the atmosphere is continuously changing by the second.
Yeah,
So
and that's why
an
this is a photo and not a video.
Right
If you
there,
took a
there is
photo over
big
different
lie.
times during the day, you
can
get
have
different
numbers,
pictures, don't you?
You can have numbers in boxes, ladies and gentlemen, but they don't represent the reality that we live and the atmosphere
That
we live
actually
in.
does
And
represent
it's
the reality that we live in.
constantly in change. It's impossible to quantify that. That's an impossibility.
No,
Sorry,
refraction
that's
has
a
been
lie.
quantified, and it shows that in these certain conditions, as I'm showing in the picture that I've posted, that is what it takes for this to happen on a globe Earth model, which is a completely normal
the
circumstance
model
for
doesn't
refraction on
exist
Earth.
in our reality.
I mean,
Ladies
it absolutely
and
does.
gentlemen,
Your
it's
ignorance
a
doesn't
big
stop that.
lie
Jim.
right there, ladies and gentlemen.
There we go.
That is
Refraction
that is
does
a
it.
lie right
There we
there.
have it modelled in
Ladies
with
and
known
gentlemen,
refractive quantities.
refraction exists.
Yes,
but
well done, Jim.
the claim
Brilliant.
has been-
Right, so you don't
I'll
have
let
any
you
evidence for the
finish.
flat Earth then? Brilliant.
I'll
Nice.
let you finish. I'll let you finish. Have you finished now? Right.
So
ladies
you
and
haven't presented
gentlemen,
any evidence for the flat Earth. You presented evidence that
have you
refraction
finished?
exists. Well done.
Have you finished? So I can
Obviously
actually
not, because I'm still
rebut.
talking,
Have
aren't
you
I?
completely? Okay. Okay, we'll carry on then. Carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on.
As we've
Carry
shown,
on.
as refraction exists, and as we know that the black swan does not present a accurate depiction of reality, we know that there is refractive conditions going on. Refraction has been quantified for years and years and years. In fact, that particular observation was modelled by Mick West in his Metabunk refraction calculator with a picture which I posted there. Debunked.
Right. Have you finished? Because I didn't interrupt you. Have you finished?
For now.
Right. Big nose. Thanks very much.
Yeah,
Let
for
me
now.
move into this now. Shut up.
No.
Thank you.
Call me Big Nose, I won't.
You're done. Shut up. Now it's my turn.
Hey,
Now it's my
ask
turn,
your
Big
mum
Nose.
what she thought of my big nose.
Shut up, Big Nose. Your
What's
mother
that?
was a whore. Remember that.
Yeah, your
And
mother
your
likes
sister
my
was
big nose. That's a
keep your mouth
fact.
shut. Your mother was a whore. Your dad was
Yeah,
a your
again,
nieces a prostitute. But
Your
please
mother
shut
was a
up.
snowblower
so I
and
can
your
present
father
my
smells of
case.
elderberries.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Let's try to keep
the
it
image of
into
the
an
black
argument,
swan,
please.
the image of the black swan.
You are
that I have,
far
ladies
too
and
easy to
gentlemen.
trigger, Jin.
The image of the black swan that I have, ladies and gentlemen, is there is no refraction going on. It's a beautiful.
Of course there's
image. It's
refraction
not the
going
one
on.
that
Look at the greens.
is not my picture. Not my picture. I'm going to show you my picture. If you wait, you will see
So,
that my
wait,
picture.
there's
is
no
not the one.
refraction going on. So is the light not travelling through a medium of any kind?
It's traveling through a medium. But
Well, therefore there's
talking about
refraction
the
going on,
Hang
isn't
on. You're talking about the bendy cranes. No cranes are bending in my image. Just wait and let me post it, will you? Thank you very much.
So why was
I'm
there
thinking now.
bendy cranes in the one that you posted?
Don't ask me whys. I will not be asking your why question for now, whilst I get my image up for you. Right, big mouth.
So
Hang on a
sometimes,
second.
what you're saying is sometimes the cranes are bendy and sometimes they're not, right?
Not in my image, but the atmosphere.
So sometimes they are and sometimes they're not. Is that what you're saying?
Explain.
So refraction
I'm trying to
exists. Brilliant.
explain, ladies and gentlemen. The weather conditions can cause the air and the mist to interfere with what you're looking at and warp
refraction,
the
yeah,
image,
exactly what
if you will. Yes, at times, yes. But then if you choose a good day like this one,
Yes,
if
McFurf,
that
I am
doesn't
trying to
happen,
trigger him.
ladies and gentlemen. Right. So let me just wait. Let me get the image up for you. Bear with me a second. I'm nearly there.
That's what she
Sorry
said.
about. I'm nearly there now. Nearly there.
Yeah, vinegar strokes, right?
Yeah, nearly there now, ladies.
Yeah,
nearly there.
it's getting close. I'm nearly there as well, Jim.
Getting there. We're nearly there now.
I'm so close.
Climaxing
Oh.
almost. Don't blow your dust now.
That's what your mum said
Don't
to me.
blow it away. Don't come your dust now. Hang on a second. I've got to get this image up. I'm trying to get it up, ladies and gentlemen. Don't usually
Smurf
have
doesn't
this
know what
difficult.
refraction is, guys.
I know what refraction is, ladies and gentlemen.
I said
Remember,
Smurf.
ladies and gentlemen, I told you that refraction is a continuously changing event, so it's impossible to quantify in the weather we breathe in. The air that we breathe in the atmosphere, you can't be having an index. That's absolutely absurd.
Well,
Absolutely
if
ridiculous.
you can measure the temperature and density at any one time, then you can calculate the refractive index.
It's not a precise science, ladies and gentlemen, because it's constantly in flux, constantly changing.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen.
that's why.
That is
That's
a big
exactly
ask.
why when you take different pictures, it looks different, Jin. Well done. You are confirming more and more that refraction exists. Good job.
I know it exists. The point we're saying is that it can also be at its minimalist, so you can get to see what we see. That's the point we're saying. And remember,
So
the
refraction
geometric
exists,
horizon. Hang on a second. Here's my picture coming towards you. the geometric horizon.
Is the smoke signals, Jin, or what?
Should be only. Yeah, I know, but you know why? Because it's on my smartphone. I do apologise for the delay.
Where are you posting it?
This is the problem. I'm going to post it hopefully with the red dot. I think that's the live chat.
Yeah.
Hang on a second.
Live stream text. Right. We're waiting, Jin.
Hang on a second. Yeah.
We're waiting for your picture with zero refraction.
Wait patiently. Wait patiently. Good things
what you're
come to those who
confirming
wait.
is that those
I know that
happens, and at different times it looks different.
I already confirmed that refraction is a thing, but not to the point it's picking up oil rigs 10 miles, ladies and gentlemen. That is impossible. That never happens.
Can you prove that? No, you've just made a claim that refraction doesn't do that, when we've shown that refraction is to do with the bending of light over degrees. So it's a lovely claim.
Anyway, there's my image. There's my image. There it is. There it is. Bye bye ball.
So there's no refraction in that at all, Jin. Is that what you're saying?
Refraction. Have a look. You can see the horizon clearly. It's clearly marked out for you. Ladies and gentlemen, the cranes.
So all those cranes are completely straight, are they? Apart from the one to the left of the big one on the left, which is bent and curving up. That one in the middle has a twisty bit at the top.
Remember, this is a man
curving up.
By the way,
yeah.
This is a man who's
So refraction's happening. Lovely.
Yeah, by the way, right? Remember, this guy's got impaired
so
eyesight.
Refraction happens is what we're confirming.
Like I said, there's our first proof, ladies and gentlemen. We see.
It's proof that refraction happens.
We're
yes,
seeing
wonderful.
further than the globe would allow if the Earth was a globe.
Well, it matches the predictions of the globe of refraction.
Remember, and you will notice that in that image, the observation height is what? What is the 8 feet, and that means it's 3.46 would be the geometric horizon.
Yeah. So again, you're showing that refraction happens. We all know refraction happens, Jin. Well done.
No, we're not talking about refraction at all.
We're talking about refraction because there's many pictures
we're talking about the
Jin, how come there's how come there's many pictures
of... We are talking about a geometric horizon that doesn't exist. We're seeing beyond it. We're seeing well beyond it. If the Earth was a globe at these measurements, it would be 100 as big as the... It would be as big as the moon.
Hey, Jin.
As far out as the moon.
Hey, Jin.
The Earth would be as big.
Jin. Hey, Jin.
The horizon would be out to
the moon. Jin? Hello? Jin?
Hello? Yeah, what do you want? What do you want?
Yeah, lovely. There you are. So, how come there's pictures of, like, the oil rigs being mostly hidden behind the horizon? Why does that happen, then?
There is no hiding of the oil rigs at all, ladies and gentlemen.
There's many pictures of the oil rigs being hidden behind the horizon.
Anyway, there's our first proof, right? That the Black Swan clearly proves and debunks
Jin, how come there's many pictures of those oil rigs being hidden behind the horizon?
Again, that would be, you've got the ocean that swells up, and ocean swells up.
The ocean swells up and how tall are these oil rigs?
There's trickery photography, okay?
Oh, right, so when they're hidden, it's ocean swells and tricky photography. When you can see them, it's proof of a flat Earth. Who's this other moron that keeps talking?
The boys and girls, please note, he's asking for pictures that are not being presented. I presented him a picture. Clearly, there's no fault there. He's trying to find it, but there is
well,
none.
Pazza, here we go. So Pazza has just posted a lovely picture. Pazza has just posted a lovely picture of... Pazza has just posted a lovely picture. Jin, deep breath, Jin. Good boy. Jin, behave. Good boy. Well done, Jin. So, Paz has just posted a picture of the oil rig being nicely hidden behind the horizon. What's going on there, Jin? Where's it gone? Is it sinking? Should we tell those people that they're in a sinking oil rig?
Please?
Oh, right. So now that I'm responding to you, you don't want to talk about the fact that I'm debunking your point.
Can we have your next proof, please?
Yeah. So
you're not debunking anything.
All right. So here's my evidence. Here's my evidence. This picture that Paz has just presented.
Can we have your next proof, please?
Yeah. Here we go.
Here's my proof, please.
Here's my evidence. I'm going to use the picture that Paz has just presented of the oil rig being hidden behind the horizon as evidence that there's a curve to the Earth. So
that is not proof of the curvature of the Earth, I'm afraid.
Well, it looks like it to me.
Not it at all. Sorry.
Brilliant. Just saying it's not, Jin. That is an amazingly succinct debunk.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at an image of a wave. A wave, that's what
really?
That is.
A wave?
Ocean,
that to me looks like sea state 1, maybe sea state 2.
You're wearing glasses. You're wearing glasses.
Yeah, so I can see pretty well. I'm wearing glasses so that I can see well. Do you not know what glasses are for, Jin? I'm wearing the glasses. If I'm not wearing the glasses, my vision's impaired. If I'm wearing the glasses, my vision's fine.
Impaired with your glasses.
Jin, buddy, if I ever wanted to hurt myself, I would climb your ego and jump to your IQ.
Basically, ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at a wave here. That's all we're looking at,
that's
okay?
a wave.
So
it's a wave at sea state 1 or 2 that's covering that entire oil rig.
So, ladies and gentlemen, he's presenting a wave. Is what he's presenting.
Yeah, look at all those waves, guys. Look at all of those waves at sea state 1 or 2. Lovely.
Yeah. Unfortunately for you, mate, it's still not proving your globe. Yeah. Not proving your
where's
globe.
It going then? Where's the oil rig going? Yeah? Why is it going behind the horizon? Where's it gone?
Where is the globe?
Hurting up.
Where is the globe?
Why does this moron keep talking that's not involved?
We have a stationary Earth.
Question.
We have a stationary.
Do me a favour, just get. He's not involved, so maybe just get rid of him if he wants to keep butting in.
Yeah, we can see 200 miles. There should be 5 miles of curvature that's not there within this distance. So from Fukushima, where I live.
Yeah. Again, Jin, I'm just wondering why that. I'm just wondering why that oil rig's behind the horizon.
200 miles and there's no curvature. 5 miles.
Yeah, Jin, I'm just wondering why that oil rig's behind the horizon.
Okay,
what
that
happens?
Shouldn't be visible. The Guinness Book of Records has the longest distance that a camera has taken at 275 miles. Okay, there should be 9 miles of curvature that's not there, ladies and gentlemen. 275 miles. So these
apart from the fact that the person that took that picture said that it matches the globe, You want to disagree?
So I'm still waiting for the evidence of the globe. So far, ladies and gentlemen,
I presented it and you went.
We have nothing
so
for the
I'm
globe.
waiting for your debunk of it.
Nothing for the globe at the moment. Yeah.
No, I've got plenty.
Curvature.
I'm waiting for evidence of flat Earth.
So
you got any?
Okay. Yes, I presented it to you. I've said we can see.
You presented evidence of refraction.
We've got 275 mile Guinness
refraction
Book of
exists.
Records.
Absolutely,
It's
well
in
done.
the Guinness Book of Records. Yeah. It's
and it matches what you expect on a globe, 100%.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
There's 9 miles of curvature that's not there.
Well, no, it matches what you expect on a globe under those conditions.
It's the longest distance, and there should be curvature.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen all the time. It only happons under special conditions, as the person that took the shot said.
Okay, wait a minute. That shot would be impossible on a globe of 24,000.
Hey, Jin, how come it's pretty easy to measure the rotation of the Earth? You ever wondered about that?
There is no. Do you know what? It's never been done. Not even
I've done it.
Einstein could do that.
I've measured the rotation of the Earth. It's pretty easy.
You've measured the rotation of the Earth. What a lie this man is.
So does everyone who ever does a physics degree.
Why haven't you got a Nobel Peace Prize?
Why would you get a Peace Prize for doing physics? Why would you get a Peace Prize for doing physics?
You're discovering the rotation of the Earth. You should be able to get
Jin, one sec, buddy, one sec. Think about what you just said. Why would I get a Nobel Peace Prize for a physics discovery?
Well, okay, the appropriate award. The appropriate award.
The physics prize, not
for
the
science.
Peace Prize.
The Nobel Peace Prize for physics.
It's not the Peace Prize, it's just the Nobel.
Sorry, yeah, I'm misspoken. A Nobel Prize, a Nobel Peace Prize. Well, it's in
No, not a Nobel Peace Prize. This has nothing to do with peace. I'm not Nelson Mandela, okay?
Okay, so you'll get a Nobel Prize for physics.
Yeah.
So I misspoke. Sorry.
I mean, not really, because measuring the rotation of the Earth is done all the time.
It's never been done.
It's done all of the time.
The Earth is not moving at all. We don't notice it.
Apart from the fact that you can measure the rotation of the Earth with a simple pendulum.
Talk the children through the methodology that we can prove that the Earth is...
You can use a pendulum. I've done it with children. Oh, wait,
ladies and gentlemen.
Wait, do not fucking clip that. I've done the experiment with children.
The false pendulum. Ladies and gentlemen, please explain what it is first for the ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My God. Shane, if you clip that, I'm never talking to you again, all right?
Well, you gave me the idea. I wouldn't even have thought about it.
Please prove that. Please explain the full Coult's pendulum.
Pardon me. This was I'm offended.
Smurf. It's okay. You can be offended later, Smurf.
Okay. Why is he offended?
Because you have a degenerate mind. Disgusting. You're sick in the head. That's all I have to say. You're disgusting. Your mind.
Right, and I second that with just as much venom. Right, but anyway, now listen up. What I'm saying is explain the Foucault pendulum to the children quickly so I can debunk it. Hurry up now. You brought it up. I'm waiting.
So the Foucault's pendulum is an excellent way to determine... Foucault's pendulum is just an excellent way to measure the rotation of the Earth, and not only that, to calculate your latitude on the planet just by the measurement that you get. It's done all the time. Everyone that ever does a physics degree does it and figures out where they are on the Earth using their calculations. It's pretty easy to do.
The children are confused. What would they see? What would they see with their eyes when they watch the Foucault pendulum? Can you explain?
Yeah, they would see it drift off of a straight line path corresponding to the latitude that they are on.
Drift off. So, but what does that mean to the children? What does that actually mean?
Oh, the children would understand.
Hang on. I've got a question from the kids. Is it that the pendulum is moving to and fro and the Earth is moving underneath it? Is that what you're saying?
Technically, yes, that's what's happening with the Foucault's pendulum.
Is it actually or not?
Yes.
What is it?
Yes, that's what's happening with the Foucault's
pendulum. One more time.
Yes, that's what's happening with the Foucault's pendulum.
Hang on. Listen, children. Listen, everybody. As the pendulum moves to and fro, left to right, the ground swings, yes. Underneath. Please let me finish. Don't answer yet. As the Foucault pendulum moves left to right, to and fro. Yeah. Swinging to and fro, ladies and gentlemen. Are you saying that the ground underneath is moving underneath that Foucault pendulum? Yes.
The same as if you put a pendulum.
Is that what you're saying?
The same as if you put a pendulum on a merry-go-round and swung the pendulum. The merry-go-round will swing underneath the pendulum.
So the ground is moving underneath that pendulum.
Correct. Well done.
In a room. The pendulum is in a room, ladies and gentlemen.
Well done. Yes. Yeah.
It's in a room, okay, and as it's swinging, the ground underneath, that means all of you on that ground are moving.
Yep, well
done. See how stupid that sounds? See how stupid that sounds?
That's called personal incredulity. That doesn't debunk anything.
It's not at all.
It absolutely is.
Holding you to the highest level of integrity. You're saying that
by going, moving, I don't believe
but
it.
I'm not moving.
No, that's you being a dumb fuck, Jin.
Hang on. Listen up. I'm looking at that Foucault pendulum. My position, I haven't moved my feet. I'm looking, and I'm still looking at the same place. No, I'm not moving.
Absolutely.
What are you talking?
You are on the thing that is moving.
Talking rubbish. You said that the ground was moving underneath the Foucault pendulum. It's not.
As the pendulum swings,
and if that were the case,
yes.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's a case to answer. If that were the case, that means when we have a helicopter outside in the open air, as soon as it starts to hover, the Earth should be moving underneath the helicopter. But that doesn't happen. We don't witness it.
A helicopter is not a pendulum.
It's the same principle, isn't it?
No, it's not. A helicopter is not attached to the Earth via a pivot point, is it? You dipshit.
You just said to the children that the ground is moving underneath the pendulum.
Because the pendulum is swinging.
The ground is
the helicopter swinging
underneath the pendulum.
Because
the ground is moving
because the pendulum is swinging.
You said that the ground was moving underneath the pendulum.
Because the pendulum is swinging, yes.
Right. But the ground is moving underneath the pendulum, yes?
Because the pendulum is swinging, yes. Because the pendulum is swinging, yes.
Right. So let's have a toy helicopter then. So
a toy helicopter is not a pendulum.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
A helicopter is not a pendulum that is swinging.
A helicopter.
A helicopter is not a pendulum, Jin. Jin, a helicopter is not a pendulum. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? A helicopter is not a pendulum. A helicopter is not attached to the Earth via a pivot point. A helicopter is not swinging backwards and forwards. A helicopter that's hovering has no Coriolis forces applied to it.
It's moving. We put the helicopter in the room where that pendulum is, and a toy helicopter, okay? And we've got it hovering. So it would be moving.
Hovering, not swinging.
Surely.
Hovering, not swinging. Hovering, not swinging.
You're saying to me that the ground is moving.
Underneath a swinging pendulum, yes. Because the pendulum is swinging, it allows it to maintain its swing relative to its...
If the ground is actually moving...
Oh, wait, no, I was talking. Good boy, Jin. Jin, do you not want to hear the answer, Jin? Do you not want to hear the answer? No, you don't want to hear the answer, do you? Right. So the pendulum is swinging which means it maintains its swing relative to the axis of Earth's rotation. A helicopter is not swinging. A helicopter is stationary. The fact that this pendulum is swinging means that Coriolis forces are applied to it because it is a moving object. A helicopter that is hovering in place is not a moving object.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a flaw in your explanation. There's a flaw in it.
There's a flaw in your understanding of the explanation.
Look, I let you speak. If the pendulum is moving left and right, to and fro, swinging, and the ground is moving underneath it, yeah, that means if you put a helicopter right there,
no,
the ground should be moving underneath the helicopter or a drone.
No, because a helicopter is not swinging, allowing it to maintain its position relative to the axis of Earth's rotation.
Into the atmosphere, outside at an airport, and just hover, the Earth should rotate underneath the helicopter.
Incorrect. A helicopter, right, Jin?
It's not incorrect.
A helicopter is not swinging backwards and forwards, which is what is allowing it to maintain. Listen, Jin. The fact that a sorry, one sec.
Doors now with a helicopter.
Right, the fact that a pendulum is swinging backwards and forwards allows that pendulum to maintain its swing relative to the axis of Earth's rotation. The same as if you put a pendulum on a merry-go-round, started swinging that pendulum, and then turned that merry-go-round, the pendulum would maintain its original direction of swing, even though the merry-go-round was going underneath it. That's what's happening with the pendulum on Earth.
Absolute poppycock, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a fact.
Now listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Listen clearly. Now, unbeknown to you lot, in order for the pendulum to start moving, a human hand has to come along and
correct.
Make the thing
yes,
fast.
Well done.
Right?
That's generally how these things work. You're right.
There's your flaw automatically. And then
no, what flaw? What flaw that you have to start a pendulum? Why is that flaw, Jin?
There are electrical motors
Jin,
and magnets that keep
not in the one that I built. It wasn't. No, absolutely not.
Magnets and motors.
Not in all of them. No.
Pendulums all around the world. Okay,
not in the one that I built or the one that I used as an example. No.
Another proof is that, like I said, if you had a helicopter at an airport,
helicopters aren't pendulums, so you can't compare them. So, nice false analogy, Jin.
Underneath, look.
Hey, Jin, simple question, Jin. Jin, simple question. Jin, simple question. Jin, wait, Jin, question, Jin. Jin, got a question for you, Jin. Jin, got a question for you, Jin.
Put a helicopter on the roof of the car.
Jin, I got a question for you.
30 miles an hour.
Hey, Jin, I've got a question for you.
The toy helicopter, or
Jin, I've got a question for you.
The car carries on.
Jin.
So there you go.
Question for you.
We're not moving.
Jin, got a question for you. Jin, got a question for you. Ready?
Go ahead.
Jin, is a pendulum a helicopter? Yes or no?
I won't even think. I'm not even going to answer that stupid question.
Is a pendulum a helicopter? Yes or no?
I've got 5 minutes left, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.
Is a pendulum a helicopter? Yes or no, Jin?
I'm not answering that question. It's beneath
Do you not know? Is it too complicated a question for you? Is it too complicated a question for you?
Answering that question.
Because it's a very scary question, Jin, that destroys your entire nonsense. Is that what it is?
Listen, guys.
Come on, Mike. We got a 1v1 chilling. He's almost done.
Yeah, I was just going to moderate. I mean, you can keep repeating the question, but the guy said he's not going to answer it.
Yeah, I understand. He's scared to answer the question.
Grow up.
No, I'm not scared to answer the question. It's a pathetic question.
Yeah, because you're scared to answer it because it destroys your nonsense.
So, as I've said, ladies and gentlemen, that
Jin, I've got another question for you then. Jin, another question for you then. Right?
I was going to ask you a question. It's my turn.
Jin, wait, hold on. No, as you refuse to answer that first question, Jin.
Kids, you're both just awful.
Yeah, sorry, I do apologise, Battle Mod. I'm trying to ask a question. My question to the right dishonourable big nose gentleman.
You can't fight.
You've lost your right to ask me a question. So I'm going to ask a question now.
We don't see the sun at the South Pole 24 hours?
We do. I've got many videos of it.
No, we don't, ladies and gentlemen. There is not one single video.
There's many videos of it. That's a lie. I can get one for you right now.
Only fakery at the South Pole. Only fakery.
You claim it's a fake, but anyway.
No, they're all faked. They've been debunked.
Does a helicopter swing like a pendulum? Yes or no?
What did I tell you 2 minutes ago?
It's a different question. Does a helicopter swing like a pendulum? Yes or no?
A helicopter can actually swing to and fro like a pendulum.
Well, we're talking about a helicopter that's hovering as
The
per
possibility
your
can
thought
do that.
experiment.
It can actually do that, yes. It can be done.
If a helicopter was swinging like a pendulum, then the Earth would turn underneath it, yes. But if a helicopter is just hovering,
rubbish, ladies and gentlemen,
if a helicopter is just hovering, which was your premise, Jin, your premise was that a helicopter was just hovering there. Is a hovering helicopter?
Even if it's moving,
Jin, hold on, Jin. Is a hovering a helicopter, as per your premise, the same as a swinging pendulum? Yes or no?
Right, ladies and gentlemen, regardless if the pendulum is moving
yes or
left
no,
to
Jin?
right, whether
Yes
the
or no,
helicopter is
Jin?
moving left to right, the
Yes
Earth
or no,
should
Jin?
rotate under. And
No, it
it does
shouldn't,
not.
Jin. It should not, Jin.
It should and it doesn't.
No, it should
Okay?
not, Jin. Your ignorance of physics doesn't change anything, Jin.
No, your deceptive physics is not going to work here. Your
Just because you don't
pseudoscience
understand
dogma
physics doesn't mean
is
it's
never gonna
deceptive.
work here.
Jin, your entire
That
argument is
pseudoscience
if
dogma
you're
is
ignorant,
what you've
you
got
might
there.
think the Earth is flat.
No,
Good job. You're ignorant,
deceptive,
therefore you think the Earth is
ignorant
flat.
Pseudoscience dogma is not.
You don't
working
even know
here,
what
okay?
pseudoscience is, dipshit.
I know it's exactly what you present. Everything you said is
No,
pseudoscience.
that's not.
Everything. Because it's not science.
Because
at all.
you don't like
Everything
it's pseudoscience.
Your
Right,
physics
okay,
is
that's what
pseudophysics.
pseudoscience means. What Jin doesn't like is pseudoscience. I get it now.
Absolutely. Of course I don't like pseudoscience.
Oh, you
because
agree.
it's not
There you go,
real
guys. He
science.
agreed.
It's
What
fake.
Jin
It's
doesn't
false.
like is pseudoscience. Confirmed by Jin.
Correct. I don't like pseudoscience, ladies
No.
and gentlemen, because
What
it's
you don't
a
like.
falsehood.
Therefore,
It's
it is
misleading.
pseudoscience.
It is not the truth. It doesn't follow the scientific method.
But
That's why
actually, it
I don't
does
like
always follow
pseudoscience.
the scientific method. You wouldn't even know what the scientific method
Science
was,
does
Jin,
not
so it's
adhere
okay.
to the scientific method. But anyway,
But
why
did you just
is
say
it
science
that when
doesn't
we
adhere to the
fly
scientific method?
from?
I'm pretty sure it does.
Why is it that when we fly from Los Angeles to New Zealand, 19-hour flight, ladies and gentlemen, we don't encounter any curvature at all?
What do you mean we
So
don't encounter
horizontal
curvature?
flights.
The pilots
Oh, we don't.
would disagree with that.
I'm sorry, no, not in a documentary called Flattening the Curve, where you have jet fighter pilots saying the Earth is flat, and if we were to fly on the globe, we'd be upside down.
You know that pilot? I've been emailing him, and God does he regret doing that documentary.
And you're a liar. You're an
I'm not.
absolute liar.
Oh
But anyway,
my
ladies
God,
and
is he
gentlemen,
upset
I've got
about
to
what
leave
he
you
did.
for now.
Yeah,
Thanks
I
for
understand.
listening.
So
and
you weren't
I'll
able to
try
present any
again.
evidence
My
for the
apologies.
flat Earth, Jen. Thank you very much for coming and being a knobsack. Good job.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, thanks.
Well, I appreciate you, Jin. Thanks for coming and waking up early and coming and doing this before your class, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, sorry about
That
that.
was brilliant. Thank you, Jin.
Thanks for the invites, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of the day. I will be back. Thanks.
Jen, I do appreciate the stupid. That was brilliant. Thank you.
All right.
I don't appreciate your pseudoscience dogma, but we'll wait and see.
Homer Habalis discovering disposable thumbs says watching.
You know, my 10-year-old grandson acts better than you. You act like a fucking child, man.
And I have
You
fun
think
doing
it's
it.
funny?
Yes, I do.
That-
That's right.
Yeah, that's what I said. You think it's funny? You're a
I do.
fucking
I think
child.
it's fucking hilarious.
Well, so now we have open
Don't get
forum.
triggered
If
about
anyone has some
Shut
questions,
up, you childish bitch.
Oh, if you
some
want to get triggered,
questions
that's
for
your problem.
FTFE,
You heard me.
or if you just want to
Yeah,
call
I heard
names,
how
I
triggered
guess,
you are, babe. I heard how triggered you are, little battle mod.
I guess we can all take turns doing that
Yeah,
too. It's equally
yeah.
fun.
Nobody's triggered. I'm
You
just being
sound
truthful.
incredibly triggered.
Do I?
Yeah.
Good.
Bitter, triggered. You know, all of these things. It's fine though. I enjoy it very much so. So, as Jin wasn't able to present any evidence to the flat Earth, any of you guys got any?
Yeah, anyone that we had muted before, sorry, go ahead, speak up, open forum. Go for it.
Hey, Shane,
What's
by
up,
the way,
Fia?
thanks for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it was rough, man. I had to mute you both.
I know.
God,
I
you
know.
guys are unbearable.
Look, I told you before that that's exactly how it was going to go. We both knew that's how that was going to go, right?
Well, I couldn't see it going any other way. But I mean, honestly, I think Jim made a pretty good case, even with you poking him and prodding him.
Which bit of his case was good?
Well, he knows the basics, right? He's from way before I got here, right? He's like the Black Swan is the bread and butter. Like I kind of passed right over that. He argued that hardcore. I mean, I think the argument though is supposed to be that you say that there is refraction and that the math that they technically used was 0 refraction, but there is definitely more than 0 refraction in the picture. It's just not the 3,000% scale ridiculous refraction that you applied in the math to bring that thing back over the horizon.
It's not that much. It's like less than a degree of curvature. It's really not a massive amount. Like in
to refract the whole horizon is not a big deal to anyone.
No, it's less than a degree of curvature.
Okay.
I'll take a turn at him.
A degree.
Don't have a heart
It's
attack.
69 miles. Much on the Earth curvature is.
Sorry, there's like 3 people talking then.
Yeah, we can do Ireland and then Kid if we can keep it.
You say 1 degree to make it.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, 69 miles is 1 degree. Yeah.
On your Earth curvature model, how much?
Alright, myself. Go ahead, man.
Sorry, Ireland, you cut out there. Could you please repeat that?
No, it's Kid. Kid, your mic is shit, man. Try to mute when you're not talking.
Well, I've had troubles with my mic as well. 69 miles is 1 degree. You say 1 degree because it sounds less, right? 69 miles on the Earth curvature model. Should we not see?
Sorry, say that
Okay,
again.
is this better, guys?
Kid, wait, please, till after Ireland.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just adjusted the settings. I didn't know. I'll mute myself. I'm sorry.
Okay. So sorry, Ireland. Would you mind just once more repeating what you said? I do apologise. I'm not being screwy. I just want to make sure I get your question right. It's 69 miles. What did you say about it?
You keep saying 1 degree. 1 degree is 69.
Yeah.
Right. That's the standard, right? But you say 1 degree because it sounds less. On your Earth curvature model, how much feet of curvature to be in 1 degree in 6?
Over 69 miles. From what point? You know, when you say how much curvature should there be, like, what do you mean?
Let's go from the measurement.
What's the observer height? You know, what's the tangent? What we're looking at? You know.
Let's go. Let's go for the 1 foot. Let's go for the 1 foot that is on the Black Swan.
You know, I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head, but you know, it's 1 degree, which is what light is following. You know,
well, the reason why I asked that question.
Degree.
Why I asked that question is because you said 1 degree. Did me?
Yeah.
1 degree, 69 miles.
Yeah.
It's a amount.
Can't hear you, Ireland.
Yeah, sorry. My point is that saying things like, 69 miles, 500 feet of curvature, well, that's fair enough. But what you've got to remember is that for 69 miles, the light just has to curve that 1 degree, or, you know, more than that 1 degree for you to be able to see, you know? And the fact that light curving so little can allow us to see so much further is what we expect with refraction. You know, the fact that refraction does exist, and we see that refraction exists because we can look at the oil rigs different days and different times throughout the day and see that they look different. We can see that the apparent position of the horizon changes because refraction is doing that. And refraction is changing the apparent position of something because the light has to bounce off of that thing, come through a medium and come to our eyes. And depending on the conditions of that medium, there's going to be different refractive effects.
I don't know if Ireland wants to take a step back because it was Mike. Kid, you want to take a shot?
Yep. Thank you, Ireland. Sorry about your mic issues. I appreciate the question. Kid, hello. Kid? Did he break his mic again?
Anyone then?
I'll go. Give me a second. I'm adjusting my mic.
Do you even have a mic?
If that counts. Give me a second, though. It's being finicky.
I can hear you pretty good now, Kid.
Yeah, that sounded like a nice switch. Halfway through you talking.
So, 3 things. 4 things. 1, don't appeal to emotion. That's the first thing. 2, is a pendulum mechanical, and what thrust vector is the helicopter using if it's stationary?
Is a pendulum mechanical? Yeah, of course it's a mechanical apparatus.
Okay, so rule that out for electromagnetic compression and thrust. Okay, next.
Rule that out
Helicopter.
For electromagnetic
Is it
compression and
stationary?
thrust,
Yes or
what do you
no?
mean?
Nope. You know what I mean, and I'm not playing the semantic games because you're just going to try to nitpick everything I say.
Yeah, that's generally how this goes. I'm not sure what
Okay,
you mean.
so the
Explain
pendulum is
electromagnetic
mechanical,
compression.
yes?
Of course it is, yes.
Okay, next
It's got a
point.
mechanical apparatus.
Nope, next point, brother.
What does that mean?
You agreed with
It's
me?
mechanical. What's your point?
That is my point. It's
Okay,
mechanical,
right.
it's altered. Next point,
Yeah,
helicopter.
experiments tend to be mechanical. All experiments.
I agree
have
with
some
you.
mechanical
You're right.
points.
They can be. That's my point. That's my point, man.
What
They
is your
can be mechanical. That's exactly my point. Now, as far as optics goes, and your refraction goes, yes, that can be a mirage. However, your vision is limited during certain occasions, and you see too frickin' far. That's all.
You don't see too far because refraction allows you to see further.
Right. So how come when I posted the F-16 fighter pilot who said the Earth is flat and stationary, and you can look it up there, right? As soon as I posted that, you said the pilots agree that the Earth is a globe. As soon as I posted that, you said the exact opposite, brother.
Yeah, pilots, all their
Don't associate every pilot with NASA because the space shuttle is a glider.
I never said anything
and
about
NASA
NASA.
uses a rocket
I
camera
literally said
system.
nothing about NASA. I was literally
this
just
has
about to say
everything
that
to do with
the
NASA.
pilots,
Otherwise, you
I said
believe in
nothing about
a
NASA.
globe.
You are the one that brought up NASA. I was about to talk about pilots, and you all of a sudden said NASA because, like all flat earthers, you're obsessed with NASA.
Now I'm going back to NASA. Because
Why? I
apparently
didn't,
the
no,
military
I didn't
disagrees with
mention
NASA.
NASA. We were talking about pilots, and all of a sudden you switched to NASA.
Calm
Pilots'
the fuck down, dude. You're
instrumentations
triggered.
are based on a globe.
No, they're not, mister.
The fact that pilots'
They're based
instrumentation
on a
will show
Gleason
the
map that you wrapped
horizon.
around the globe with Goddard CGI.
Pilots do not use a Gleason map.
Yes, they fucking do for navigation. And
No,
so does
they
the
do
Navy.
not.
And the British did in World War II. You want to
No,
fucking
they
bet?
did not.
You want to fucking bet?
The Gleason's map is not for navigation. It's a timepiece.
Oh, bullshit. You're right about it being
Try
a
and use the
timepiece because
Gleason
they
map to
navigated and
navigate
they
around
took time to put
Australia.
sun and the
I
moon with it.
fucking
You're
dare
right.
you.
I'm sorry, repeat that?
Use the Gleason's map to navigate around Australia. I dare you.
Oh, you're right, because part of it's missing. Bravo.
No, because it's 4 times as wide as it should be.
Oh, okay, you're right. So the radius and the circumference is wrong, is what you're saying?
I'm saying that the Gleason's map
No, that's
is
a yes or no. So the radius and the
equidistant
circumference is wrong.
projection.
Is that what you're saying? Yes or no?
It has no radius and circumference because there's no accurate scale
Bullshit.
on it.
A circumference is circular. That's the root word is circular, which goes back to the Gleason map,
there
which is
is
why
no
the Navy used it in World War
circumference
II,
on-
especially the British.
Again, you cannot navigate with the Gleason's map because it is not
Bullshit.
an accurate map.
Bullshit. Along with the Mercator, right?
The Gleason's map is an azimuthal equidistant projection of a globe.
No,
the further south you go, the further south you go, the
you
more
wrap the
distorted
Gleason
it is.
around your globe in Blender,
The more
buddy.
the Gleason's map is distorted. The further south you go, the worse it gets.
Yeah, because you wrapped it around a fucking globe, buddy.
No,
of course it's distorted. You think the Earth is a freaking blue ball?
The globe has the accurate shapes of the countries. The Gleason's map doesn't.
Oh, okay. Okay, so if we didn't have the Antarctic Treaty, would the Gleason map be accurate?
The Gleason's map isn't accurate.
Oh, think about what you say.
The Gleason's map isn't accurate, and the Antarctic Treaty has nothing to do with the Gleason's map.
Okay, I call bullshit. Now back to the SR-71
Do you know the
and
Gleason's
the
map was
F-16
made
fighter
way
pilot who
before
said
the
the Earth is
Antarctic
flat and
Treaty?
stationary because they see too freaking far.
Yeah, they love laughing at you. Pilots do enjoy laughing at flat earthers quite a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
So,
but every pilot
again,
I've ever
let's
talked
just
to
go
has
back
said
to
you're
the
full of
Gleason's
shit.
map. Let's just go back to what you said about the Gleason's map and Antarctic Treaty.
No, I'm sorry. I'm going back to the aircraft because you're fucking
about the
blatantly
Gleason's
lying
map,
now.
No, I've got many videos of pilots laughing at flat earthers.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
You show the videos and I'll play the technical manuals.
The tactical manuals of what?
Exactly what the fuck I just said.
Yeah, of what?
Okay, well, for starters, the space gliders, space shuttles that you call them, I have the technical manual from 1988 when they assumed a flat stationary Earth. Elvis is a rocket camera system that used fisheye, which they used to wrap the Gleason around the frickin' blue ball using Goddard at CGI at NASA. Your turn, buddy.
So NASA are telling the truth now, are they? When they're talking about the Earth. So
you tell me, buddy. Which one is it? Did they assume a flat stationary Earth, or do they assume a ball? And a spherical isn't a globular shape. You're getting your shapes confused too. Like this is fucking Sesame Street or something.
Only for flight modeling do they ever assume a flat stationary plane.
I'm in the middle of answering.
I'm in the middle of answering.
Globular is a rainfall, not a freaking spherical object.
I was in the middle of talking. It's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, it's amazing. You're trying to appeal to emotion, but not answering the scientific questions.
In what way did I appeal to emotion, dipshit?
Oh, I'm sorry. You triggered? So if I call you an ignorant fool, now what? Because you're being ignorant,
You would be projecting.
A globular shape is a raindrop, not a freaking circular golf ball.
So are you trying to say that the globe isn't a globe because the globular shape is a raindrop?
I said Goddard uses CGI. I didn't fucking stutter.
Do you wanna stick to one thing at a time, or are you just gonna jump around like a moron?
No, I got a list of points that I'm going through, and I'm not gonna let you try to nitpick.
Oh, so right, you're not gonna let me answer any of your points. I see, because you're scared. Right, I get it.
Oh no, I'm gonna treat you like you treated my buddy Jin, trying to appeal to emotion
Your buddy
bullshit.
Jin's a fucking moron.
I'm not fucking Jin, am I?
You're just as dumb.
No, you just think every flat earther is stupid and you appeal to atoms and emotional fucking fallacies.
I don't think you know what an atom is.
Oh,
Calling you stupid is not an atom.
Fallacy.
There's no emotional fallacy. Calling you stupid is not
fucking
an atom.
Calm your neurosis and your psychosis before I read the DSM-5 mental health manual at you.
Do all you like, mate. It's surprising that you can read, to be honest.
God appeal to emotion.
He was with Jin. He just kept Jin constantly upset, so he couldn't debate the school.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Jin was just triggered all the time.
That's a brilliant strategy. Keep him upset so he can't freaking counter you. You're right. That is a brilliant strategy, but that shit doesn't work on me, mister.
It's working pretty well. You're
No,
not
not
allowing
really.
You're not allowing me to respond to any points and just scattergun, showing that you're too scared to actually.
Go ahead and reply. You already replied that the pendulum is mechanical. That's checked.
Yeah, and that doesn't mean anything. All experiments are mechanical. And why is that an issue? Why is that an issue?
And I agreed with you on that, which is why I said a raindrop is globular, not freaking spherical, genius.
And what's that got to do with an experiment being mechanical?
It has to do with everything, man. You're getting
What
your
does
fucking
what
shapes
does a
confused,
raindrop
and
shape
this
have
isn't
to do with
Sesame Street.
pendulums being mechanical?
Now you're hung up on the freaking mechanical freaking pendulum, huh?
Because you just brought it back up.
Do I need to tune a piano or something?
You just brought it back up.
Motherfucker, you brought it back up. Let's go. Next point.
No, I want to go back to that. Explain to me why a pendulum being mechanical is an issue.
No, I'm sorry. Now you're trying to circle back.
Yeah, I am.
Circumference means circular, and the root navigational matter of the word circumference means circular, guys.
Yeah, cool. So explain to me why a pendulum being mechanical is an issue. Can you do that?
Globular isn't spherical. Next to you. Back to you, buddy.
Yeah, so explain to me why a pendulum being mechanical is an issue.
No, explain to me why you're trying to say that globular is spherical.
The globe is a nearly perfect sphere. That's just
the globe is the globular theory using Einstein and Newton, and I'm referring to Nikola Tesla and the Tesla coil and circumference and round.
Calling the Earth a globe is nothing to do with Einstein and Newton.
Okay, bring it on, buddy.
Again, why is the pendulum being mechanical a problem?
Now back to the pendulum, because that's all you fucking got, huh?
I'm asking, you're the one that brought it up.
I freaking agreed with you, it was mechanical, buddy.
And?
You
why is
agreed
that
it was
a
mechanical
problem?
too.
What does that mean?
That's all you fucking got.
What does it mean?
Because
why is it a
CGI
problem?
is freaking Goddard, freaking NASA bullshit.
Oh, right, so now we're going to CGI and Goddard instead of answering any of my questions about
You're damn
things that
fucking
you brought
skippy
up.
because Elvis is a rocket camera system and I know you fucking use fisheye.
Elvis is a rocket camera. That's fucking brilliant. So anyway,
Yes,
why is a pendulum being mechanical an issue, dude?
Why are you going back to this fucking mechanical fucking pendulum, dude?
Because I want to go through the points that you brought up. So
I'll answer it.
I already fucking agreed to you. It's mechanical. We both agreed to that.
Yeah. I agree it's mechanical. And why is that an issue?
I'm sorry, you're trying to run the narrative, and we already agreed on that point. Is that
why
all
is
you fucking
why
have?
is it an issue? Why is it an issue? Tell me.
It's not a fucking issue. I agreed with you and you agreed with me. You're making it a fucking issue. Next fucking point.
So why did you bring it up?
Because to bring up it's mechanical. Just like everything fucking else, like the fucking
what does
rockets
that
and the
matter?
aircraft and everything else. So back to optics in your eyeballs
What
and
does
seeing
that
too
matter?
fucking far.
What does it matter? It's mechanical. Why did you bring that up? What's the point?
It's not a natural
Exactly why the fuck I brought it up.
Of course it's
mechanical.
natural. It's human-made. Anything human-made is natural, according to science.
No.
This dude is trying to fucking obfuscate and omit shit, guys.
Oh,
I'm holding
I'm
this
trying
feet
to
the fucking
I'm
fire
trying
so
to
he
talk
keeps
about the
going back
things
to
you're
the
bringing
fucking
up.
pendulum. That's all he fucking has.
That's all I need because it shows the Earth rotates.
No, that's not all you fucking need.
It is. It's
A
literally all I
pendulum
need.
goes back and forth because it's freaking mechanical, not because it's of magnetic pressure or natural
No one
forces
said it was.
that you're appealing to with the fucking optics and the mirage and the fucking refraction bullshit.
What the fuck are you babbling about?
Exactly what the fuck I just said. Mechanical isn't fucking optics with your eyeballs.
I never said it was. Cool story, bro.
Okay, cool story,
A pendulum
bro.
shows the Earth rotates. Boom, done.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Is that all you fucking have is this fucking pendulum, or do I need to go back and remind you that a raindrop is globular and a frickin' baseball
You can
is
remind me
frickin'
all you like. It
spherical?
doesn't change the fact that a pendulum shows the Earth rotates.
You ignorant fool, I'm going back on mic. I'm not fucking wasting my fucking time with you. All you have is the fucking pendulum, and I don't want to fucking
all I
tune a
need,
guitar
dude.
or a fucking piano.
Literally all I need. And, you know, measurements of Earth's rotation, measurements of Earth's curve, pictures from space, videos from space. You know, I've got plenty, but all I need is the fact that a pendulum shows that the Earth rotates. And what the fuck were you on about, Battle Mod? It's not a natural phenomenon. In science, anything of physical matter is natural, including the products of
So
human
I'm sorry.
society.
In
and
science, a
human society.
frisbee is now a freaking globular, freaking spherical baseball, huh?
Did you just have a stroke?
Do you not understand fucking shapes, buddy?
Did you just have a stroke?
Globular is a freaking raindrop.
Cool.
Or a piece of
And-
shit on the fucking ground. A globe is a freaking tennis ball, apparently. No, that's spherical. Globular isn't spherical. Get your fucking shapes right, Mr. Sesame Street, Big Bird.
Cool story, bro. None of that meant anything.
Yeah,
Does
cool
the
story, bro. Debunk it. Without freaking Goddard CGI and referring to fucking other shit.
What CGI?
Does the pendulum precess at the equator?
No.
We already agreed the pendulum's mechanical.
Where?
We both agreed to
Where's
that.
the experiment? I've never seen this.
There's some that have been done. You can do it yourself if you like.
The full call
Never been
pendulum is
done at the
mechanical,
equator.
buddy.
Do it yourself if you like, but everywhere on Earth that it's done, you can calculate your latitude from it.
Have you done it at the equator?
Nope. I've done it in several different places though, and always managed to get my my latitude from the amount it has drifted, as per the.
Don't you think it would be important to do it at the equator?
If you want to do that, do it. It's fine.
But no one else has done it.
I'm sure people have. I've got papers of experiments. If you want to go and do it yourself, that's fine.
At the equator?
Yeah.
You have papers?
I mean, it's not like it hasn't been done. But again, if you doubt it, then what you do is go and do it yourself instead of just going, oh, it hasn't been done, therefore I win. Everywhere on Earth that the pendulum experiment is done, you can calculate your latitude from the amount of drift. If you doubt that, then do it yourself.
At the equator, when we
Yeah,
do
do
that,
it,
and
do
it
it yourself
does,
at the equator. Yeah.
if it does precess, then what? We've done it wrong?
If you set it up properly, then it won't precess.
You positive about that?
Yeah, because it matches the predictions everywhere else it's done on Earth. So I don't see why it would change when you do it at the equator. You set up the experiment properly, and you're exactly 100% at the equator. You won't get any precession
How do you know that if no one's ever done
because
it?
it matches the predictions. And
No one's ever done it at the equator. You have no...
Again, do it at the equator if you doubt it. But the fact that everywhere it's done on Earth, it matches the latitude on Earth. I don't see why it would be any different at the equator. I'm sure it hasn't been done at every single latitude on Earth, every single minute of difference. I'm sure it hasn't been done, but every time it's done at a specific latitude, it matches what you get from predictions. If you want to go
So
do it at
when
the
we
equator,
do this,
when we go and do it at the equator and it precesses, and if I show you that, what are you going to say?
Why would it precess? You're just making the assumption there that it's going to precess. How about you do the experiment and come to me with the results without any assumptions?
Okay.
I make the prediction based on the
I'm
maths.
not going to make that assumption. I'm just going to
what
say...
you need to do, what you need to do is make the prediction, do the maths that backs up your prediction. So you need to figure out Foucault's sine law, do the maths of Foucault's sine law for the latitude you're at, which is, you know, going to be the equator, and, you know, do the prediction based on that to see what you should get, and see if your experiment then matches the prediction. Because every time the Foucault's pendulum experiment is done, it matches the predictions. So if yours doesn't, yours will be the single outlier, and that would be something to look at.
It wouldn't be a single outlier because there is no predictions at the equator. No one has done the experiment at the equator.
Your experiment would be the outlier, as in not matching the predictions of the globe.
And then, okay, so what do you do at that point? You're just going to throw that out?
No, we would look into it and investigate it. That's the thing, right? Science doesn't say, that's it, it's definite, right? When new information comes available, we take that into account and adjust our position. If, for some reason, when you do the experiment at the equator, you get something other than the predicted results, then we would have to investigate it and find out why. I wouldn't instantly go, oh, I don't believe that. We would have to repeat the experiment. We would have to investigate why that happened. You know, what if you did your experiment, right, and you found that you got some precession, right, but then 200 other people did the experiment in the same place and found that there wasn't any precession, and yours was the only one that showed precession. What would you do then?
Yeah, no, that'd be a problem. Are you up for taking a trip to the equator with me? And
sure, you want to pay all my travel expenses, deal with wheeling me around in a wheelchair, helping me get dressed and stuff in the morning. That's absolutely fine. Yeah.
How about if it doesn't precess? Then I will pay for all that. But if it does,
no, you pay for me to get there, as well as all my disability needs that have to be taken care of.
I hear you. I'm sorry to hear, Craig. I'm sorry you're hurting.
I'd be more than willing to do that, but it's not the easiest thing for me to do to get around. All right, I got travel a lot more if I could.
I have faith you'll be better, and we will.
I'm not going to be better. I have lifelong injuries, unfortunately.
We're praying for you, Craig.
To the new flying spaghetti monster, because that's the god I believe in.
You don't have to believe in him. It's okay.
I believe in the flying spaghetti monster.
Yeah, he's a great god.
May be blessed by his noodly appendage. Did you know, right, that my god's better than yours, because the flying spaghetti monster, he made the entire universe in just 4 days whilst drinking heavily.
That makes him better.
Yeah, because it took your god a lot longer, and he had to be sober.
So if you win a race in less time, you're better than in your book.
Well, yeah, if you win a race, that would mean you're better than the people that didn't win the race. That's generally how it works. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, go ahead, man. Win the race.
I was thinking about you wouldn't need to go to the equator to prove that theory anyway, necessarily, would you? You just need to try at different latitudes, and you find that it will either process or not process less, wouldn't it? Right?
Obviously. Yeah, that would be, but without ever proving it actually happens at the equator and not going there and doing it, you're just assuming that it would.
No, it's not assuming, because you hang on.
Matt, we don't allow Craig to have outside Glober help during this event. Sorry, man.
I'm not helping him. I'm just
you are.
No, I'm not helping at all. I don't need to help Craig. I don't need to help Craig. I'm just want to make a point. Am I allowed to speak?
I genuinely I thought that was
you're not. It's Craig.
Say no. He's like, can I just no.
Listen, it's Fight the Flat Earth versus a server full of flat earthers. That's the platform we give him. Thanks for being here to support him, but he doesn't want your help.
So yeah, I mean, do the experiment at the equator. Gladly, I've seen people talk about doing it. I've got papers when they've talked about it, and I've never actually managed to find the experiments. I've found people talking about it, right? But I encourage people to do the experiment, because that's the thing, right? There's nothing wrong with trying to disprove a theory, because that's what science is about, right? That's what experiments in science is about, trying to disprove something. And I'm all for someone going to the equator and doing the experiment. If it's that hard to find, then boom, go and do it. Add that to the data set. But the thing is that the data set we have at the moment shows that for every position that's done on Earth, it matches your latitude. You can take that amount that is drifted, you can figure out how much it would drift in 24 hours, and then you can use Foucault's sine law and find your latitude on Earth, and it works every time.
I understand how the experiment works. I'm just saying, already in South America, or in Ecuador, in these places on the equator, they convince people that toilet bowl water is spinning in opposite directions and fool people with it. So why wouldn't they be doing the pendulum as well? That would just be another thing they would be doing regularly. Don't you find it weird that they're doing the Coriolis through the water, which we all know is tricking people, but they're not doing it?
Doing a pendulum experiment with the equator, you're not going to see anything. That's not very exciting. A pendulum's just going to swing backwards and forwards. That's not going to bring in people for a quick attraction, But what is going to bring in people for a quick... hold on. What is going to bring in people... Hold on, let me finish. What is going to bring people in for a quick buck is moving either side of this imaginary line they've driven, they've drawn, shaking their bucket slightly so that the water trolls a different way, so that they can pretend it's because of the Earth's rotation, when the truth is the Coriolis forces applied at that point in the Earth would be nowhere near strong enough to overcome the friction of the water in the bucket that they're using. But that's why the attraction works, is because it's showing you something. Look at this thing that's happening. But a pendulum at the equator, it's doing nothing. It's doing nothing. It's just swinging backwards and forwards, doing nothing. That's not very exciting. I'm not going to go and pay for that. Neither is anybody else.
I'd rather do
the only place that happens.
Let's do the Elias effect experiment.
Yeah, I'd love to see that done, because there's actually no experiment showing that that's ever happened. It's a lovely claim. And
that's a nice statement, yep.
Yeah, it's a lovely claim about the Elias effect, but there's never been, a paper on it, an experiment showing it happening. If it does happen, observed. Well, they've said it's been observed, but they've never shown it happening. They've never done a paper or anything. They've said, "Oh, we saw this happen," but they've never.
I don't think anybody's ventured to try.
I mean,
it was observed by Elias, and he wrote about it.
It's been tried several times, and they don't tend to get the effect. Although I was reading about one paper that tried to replicate the Elias effect, and they did find that it actually seemed to change the amount of drift slightly, right? Which confused them. But when they actually did the calculations of the extra gravitational pull from the alignment of everything, which is what gave the eclipses, that would actually make the difference of what happened. It's very...
What was that, a Forbes article? Because in that Forbes article it says it starts small and then builds up over time and has a large effect.
No, it wasn't a Forbes article. It was on a science blog that I was reading, talking about the Elias effect, and people trying to recreate it.
Here, I'll give you a link to the Forbes article.
Yeah,
it's been observed.
I think I know the one that you're talking about, the Forbes article, and they talk about it, but there's no evidence of it happening. They just talk about it because someone said it happens. So I would love to see it being done. I would love to see the experiment. All I've done is see people talk about it. And all the people who talked about it always say that different things happen. There's never any conclusive, oh, well, here's what's happened and it matches these predictions. But again, experiment, right? Do the experiment. Let's see it. If this is what people have...
Yeah, because it's not supposed to just affect a pendulum, but also a gravimeter.
Yeah, and that's why they said that it was a possible, the gravitational alignment of all the planets would put a tidal effect in a certain way. A lot of maths behind it. Please do send that Forbes article, because it is interesting, and the Elias effect is something that is worth looking into. I would love to see an experiment showing it happen. I've never seen that. But pendulums are brilliant. I love the way that they can show you your latitude on Earth. Why does that happen? How come you can use a pendulum to find your latitude on Earth?
You can't be positive about that claim because you've never done it at the equator.
I've done it 3 different times, and every time it matched my predictions.
And you've never done it south of the equator, so you have no idea. You're just going off of based off of 3 places that you've been.
So the 3 times that I repeated the experiment, each time it matched my predictions. Why did that happen?
Within a certain degree of error.
Within like 1.4% margin of error. All measurements in the world have a margin of error, right? That's just the thing.
They're all probably wrong, is my case. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, margin of error is just an accuracy thing. Every single measurement ever has some kind of margin of error, right? But the fact is that I can calculate my latitude from my results to within a really small margin of error, and it works every time. Why can I do that? Why does it work?
In the 3 places you've been, I agree. Okay, for sure.
And the experiments that are done south of the equator do it as well. It's not just me that's done this. Everyone that does a physics degree, everyone that does a physics degree does this experiment, at least in the UK. I assume it would be the same in America and other places. That these would be standard experiments that are done, right? Just like doing the Cavendish, calculating gravitational acceleration. Deriving G
Are you
self
saying you can't get a physics degree? We can't get a physics degree in Ecuador or in Brazil or in.
No, I'm saying I don't know what the criteria for getting a physics degree is in Brazil or that, but I imagine it would be similar to everywhere else that at least what I've done. It'd be similar criteria. They would do experiments and stuff, right?
Yeah, there should be tons of papers on it from those colleges on doing it at the equator.
Why at the equator?
What are you talking about? That's the whole point. The pendulum is said to precess at the equator. No one has done it, so no one even knows.
It's said to not precess at the equator.
Yes, not precess at the equator. Yeah. No one has done it, so no one even knows. Even if it's
not been done at the equator, it's been done so many times all across the world, and whenever it's done, you can calculate your latitude based on your results. Why is that the case?
I just find that weird that if it's been done all over the world, why
so you keep saying, but why, when you do the experiment, are you able to calculate your latitude based on your results?
If it doesn't precess, correct, yeah, I would be able to. But I don't know, because no one does it at the equator for some reason.
I'm not talking about the equator right now. I'm talking about all the other places it's done across the world. Why are you able to calculate your latitude from the result? Why does that happen?
From your perspective, it's because the Earth is spinning. What do you mean?
Yeah, brilliant. That's the reason. Is there another explanation? If the Earth is not rotating, if the Earth is flat and stationary, then why does a pendulum's drift allow you to calculate your latitude?
Well, even when the Earth was geocentric, they still exist a sidereal rotation.
Talking about if the Earth is flat and stationary, which is why we're here, right? Then why are we able to calculate our latitude with the drift of a pendulum? What is the explanation for that if the Earth is flat and stationary?
I don't know if it's true. If it hasn't been done at the equator,
it is true. Every time that it's been done, the latitude has been able to calculate.
It is true. Craig says so. Okay, I got it.
No, not just me. All the papers that have ever been done on it that show that it matches the calculations, the predictions, right?
There would be a ton of them at the equator if that was the case.
So you say?
You're telling me there's all of these places, but not one from the equator. Why wouldn't it just go get a paper from the equator? This should be easy.
Just go and do it yourself if you doubt it, but that's not answering my question as to why, whenever it's done, the latitude is able to be calculated from your data. Whenever it's done.
I'm not going to make claims about why a pendulum turns a certain way. I'm not making claims about that. What I'm saying is it'd be silly to just tell people, oh, this happens all over the place, yet we don't do the experiment at the equator. So
we tell people that whenever it's done, it matches the predictions of the globe. It matches the predictions of getting your latitude whenever it's done. That's what we tell people. Because that's true.
Okay, I guess we're going to have to force flat earthers to do this at the equator.
Yeah, if that's brilliant. If you want to go and try and disprove a theory, that's a way to do it. Go ahead. No one is stopping you. And what happens?
No one's stopping me.
And
It's
what
weird.
happens?
No one else is
And what
doing
happens?
It. There's physics departments in Brazil and Ecuador.
Yeah, and what happens when you go to the equator and you do it, right? And what if you got the result that matches the globe predictions? What then?
That's saying I should go there with the assumption it's going to match the globe prediction, just like
no,
you
I'm
told
saying
me
you
not
go
to
there
go
and you
with
make
the
a
assumption
prediction.
that it's not.
Science requires you to make predictions to test, right? So
yes,
if you're going there,
it's going to be that it's going to precess at the equator. That's my hypothesis that I would go there with.
Why would it precess at the equator?
Because it precesses everywhere else on Earth.
So, yeah, everything in the Earth's atmosphere moves with it naturally except sniper bullets, pendulums, and footballs. Got it. Sorry.
What are you talking about, Shane?
It's just a good meme. I thought I would insert it.
The Coriolis effect is demonstrated to us in Ecuador by people all the time with stupid water going down a drain.
Again,
if
those
you
are
can't imagine they wouldn't be
nobody
doing the
nobody in the
pendulum
science
thing,
community claims those are real things. Those
okay,
are
I
those are
understand
attractions
that.
to get gullible people's money.
Yet they are sold to us as Coriolis effect. Just like this pendulum thing.
But no one in the science community is saying again.
Coriolis.
Nobody in the science community is saying that. Those are just con people trying to take money.
Okay, I understand that. Maybe the pendulum is the same people conning people.
I'm not conning anybody. I've done the experiment as part of my physics degree, as did everybody else in my physics class, as did everybody that I know has ever done a physics degree.
If you believe lies, you'll feel power in the lies because there's a lot of power in knowledge. So that's probably what it is. Is they're giving you all this and the lie that you don't know what happens at the equator. I'm gonna guess it's gonna precess.
Okay, and what do you base that prediction on?
Because it precesses everywhere else in the world.
Okay, so follow the data. Okay, the precession gets less and less and less as you move towards the equator. So let's say we're starting in the north, where it's going clockwise, right? If you're at the North Pole, it would rotate 360 degrees clockwise in 24 hours, okay? As you travel further south, that precession becomes less and less and less until you get just off of the equator when that precession is really tiny, right? And then just the other side of the equator, the precession is the other way. It's now counterclockwise, really, really tiny. And as you move towards the South Pole, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you get to the South Pole, where the precession is counterclockwise in 24 hours. Okay? So the data from all of those experiments shows and suggests that at the equator there will be zero precession, because it goes from a high amount to low and then from low to high, which suggests that at some point there's a zero value.
Thanks, Craig. Of course, I've never heard that to come up with the question of why we haven't done it at the equator. Obviously, I know what you're trying to get at, that you're saying it will happen at the equator because we've done it everywhere else. But, in my opinion, we need to do it at the equator to confirm that that is what is actually happening.
Right, so my question is, if you go to the equator and you do the experiment and you make the predictions, well, your hypothesis is that it will precess, right? But what if it doesn't precess and it matches the globe predictions? What then?
Then I'm going to set up the experiment at my house where I live and make sure it doesn't precess there too. Right?
How would you set up at your house? How is your ceiling tall enough to set up the experiment?
How do you know what size house I live in?
Do you have a ceiling that's
a stairwell, like 5-story high stairwell?
A 5-story high stairwell. Yeah, that would probably do it.
Yeah, that's good, right?
Yeah, make sure, right? If you're doing this, right, I would actually like to speak to you and help you with the mechanics behind it to make sure that it's working properly, because you need to have an active pivot point that's allowing you the swing to maintain its its relative position. You're going to need to make sure that the string doesn't have twists and stuff, and you need to make sure quite a thin fishing wire is usually the best thing, and leave it to dangle for like a day to get any twist or anything out of it before you do the experiment, things like that. If you are genuinely...
I'm a fisherman. I have all this. And
Cool.
then when we release it, we're going to use a lighter.
Yeah,
to release
if you
it.
are really serious about doing this, right, I would very much like to help you set up the experiment and be involved in helping you do it, because I'd love it. If you want to do the experiment, that's something that a lot of flat earthers won't ever do. Okay? But my point is, at the moment, why does it work? Why when I do the experiment where I am, does it match my latitude? Why is that a thing?
Me personally, I think it's because that's been reverse engineered in order to fit onto the globe map. But I know you'll think that's
What do you mean reverse engineered? It's just something that happens.
I think that people made the observations that you're talking about first before coming up with longitude, latitude.
Wait, so you think Foucault's pendulum was done before the longitude latitude coordinate system was invented?
No, that's not correct, because that was done in the late 1800s. I understand that. The Foucault's pendulum, but I don't know who possibly could have done a pendulum idea before that. You don't think anyone's ever swung a pendulum before that?
Not to test the rotation of the Earth. That was first done by French physicist Léon Foucault.
Because he wrote it down first, so he was the first one to swing the pendulum.
Well, maybe someone did it before, but they never wrote it down, so we wouldn't fucking know, would we? The first person we know that did it was Léon Foucault.
No, I understand that. I get what you're getting at. I just want to do the experiment at the equator.
And I support you 100%.
All right? Okay, and I will get in touch with you about setting up that experiment, because I am interested in testing
I've even, because, as part of what I'm doing, there's a couple of documentaries and stuff that I'm planning, and one of them involves me doing a large-scale Foucault's pendulum experiment with people around the world, right? There's a fire station, well, an ex-fire station that's now an art gallery near me, and I'm using their, like, fireman's pole bit as to do my Foucault's pendulum. But I want to, when I do it, I want to have people around the world.
How far down do they slide down that pole? How tall is that?
Well, it goes up to the bell tower above it, and then halfway down is where they would slide, and then it's like 3 stories of sliding. It's pretty cool. I went and had a look. I'd be too scared to do it myself, actually, honestly. But it then goes up about another 3 stories above that to the bell tower, and the whole thing's hollowed out because they have like a hologram display in there, and it's perfect to do a pendulum experiment. But when I'm doing it, I want to have people around the world doing it at the same time, right? And if you're setting up a pendulum experiment, then that's equipment you'll have around. Then you could help me and do my experiment, so we can do a large scale Foucault experiment around the world with multiple people doing it. More data, the better, right?
Yeah, I agree, definitely. That's interesting. Like, do you think it would be different, like as you got closer to an equinox or something like that, or not?
I don't know.
Same every time.
Again, the alias effect is something that's very interesting, and I think Taylor's looking into. And hey, if you're setting up pendulum experiment stuff, then you'll be able to test that as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant.
That's something we need to be looking into.
I'm never against looking into things. In fact, I think it's the most important thing.
Well, thanks, Craig. I appreciate that.
Yeah, props to you for wanting to do the experiment. I get what you're saying, right? It's hard to find someone that's done the experiment at the equator and found that there's no precession, right? But there's a lot.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
There's people that talk about it, but I personally don't think it's something that is widely done because nothing happens. There's nothing to see. It's not exciting. It's better to do it where you're going to see. You can make a prediction and see if you match that prediction. If there's nothing happening, it's very hard to say why nothing is happening, right?
No, I can understand where you're coming from, because if you're doing it in all your locations and it actually matches your location, it's like, oh, wow, this is awesome. But at the equator, you're just going to be like, oh, of course. This is what should happen anyways. I understand where that's coming from, for sure. I would think it would be done for the scientific community just to prove the point 100% that it is from Earth's rotation.
Yeah, cool. Do it. Shane, what are you posting there? About magnetic pendulums and stuff.
The components of a pendulum.
Yeah, like not
Diagram.
all of them, right? That that's maybe one from a museum. My pendulum had no magnets or anything. It's just a pendulum.
The one in the museums doing the experiments for all the public do have magnets, though, right?
Yeah, so that they can keep going constantly. It's just a magnetic kick to keep it swinging.
Oh yeah, just a little magnet. No, I get it, but like the ones that they show that show Earth spin to the whole world in all the biggest displays are
not
actually
all of
moving
them.
around by this.
The one in Edinburgh doesn't have any magnets. Is actually just restarted by this guy every few hours. But there's some that have magnets because it allows it to keep swinging 24 hours a day with no one restarting it. And that's all the magnet's doing. It's just a little push at each side to keep it swinging.
By our pendulum, you control the gravity. I dig it.
But again, a lot of them don't have that, and they do the same thing. So.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not doubting that there's detectable movement ever. Like that's why I don't argue pendulum or like the Thanks Bob thing. Like I'm fully aware that the sky rotates above 15 degrees now. I think that's an accepted observable phenomenon. Just the same with gravity's your ridiculous causal claim of gravity being the 9.8 meters per second squared. Like that's not. I don't refute that average.
That's a result of gravity.
Or that. Well, I don't refute that measurement or that average, right? Because that'd be silly. So that's just sort of the same thing with the pendulum. I don't refute the movement. I just attribute it to a different cause than you do.
What do you attribute it to?
Spin of the ether, of course.
What ether?
The ether, dude. Come on, don't be dense, Craig.
Right. To quote Whitsitt here, if there is an ether, it is undetectable and unknowable.
Right. Well, it just means that like the spin of the Earth. Clearly, we don't think the Earth spins, but the sky spins above us at the same rate that you claim the Earth spins, right?
Not all the things in the sky, no.
Well, the basic static sky, like all the static stars that don't, everything minus the wandering stars and the sun and the moon, spins at the same rotation rate, day to day, year after year, forever in perpetuity.
But a lot of the things that happen in the sky wouldn't match what you would see on a flat Earth.
What do you mean? Everything in the sky is literally how is matched on the flat Earth. That's how the globe model was created.
Alone would not work on the flat Earth. The shape of them, right?
Why do you think that?
Well, it's a circle directly above you if you're at the North Pole, right?
It's a circle wherever you look.
If you were to look, it's a direct circle, right? If you look straight up at the North Pole, there's a direct circle of star trails above you. If you were to stand there for 24 hours, or take a long exposure, it would be.
It's not dark for 24 hours.
It can be at the North Pole.
I get the point, though.
Right. So now, if the Earth was flat, as you moved away from that point, that circular star trail would become an oval.
No, see, that's a silly. That's a silly straw man that Professor Phil likes to argue about how things would work if the Earth was flat, instead negating the direct observation on the flat Earth to use for the globe. It's a wonderful trick, but literally.
Well, no, this is just the reality of shapes. If that's what you were seeing, and the Earth was flat, then
the reality
that
is
shape would have to change as you move away. That's what a flat Earth reality would be. The star trail that is circular above the North Pole would become oval as you move away from it. That's just how shapes work.
That's a misunderstanding of how things would be in your hypothetical straw man of flat Earth. In reality, when you go away from Polaris, it does dip from you, right? If you go halfway between Polaris and the equator, it's roughly at 45 degrees, right? You're so far away from it, it's dipped on your horizon. And you go to the equator, and it's almost at 90 degrees. It's almost directly into your horizon. And that's when you start to see the supposed southern rotation while looking south, going south from the equator.
Yeah,
but that's only a facet of perspective.
Yeah. So if the Earth was flat and the sky is above you, then by necessity the shapes that it's making will change based on your position. And as you said, as you go towards the equator, that what is a circle above you then goes to the equator, but it's still a circle. If the Earth was flat, that wouldn't be a circle. It would have changed it by necessity. It would have changed shape. What it does matches what you expect on a globe. It doesn't match what you expect on any kind. We're not strawmanning flat Earth. We're just saying this is flat. This is what you would expect to see if it's flat. It's very hard to strawman flat Earth when there's no model of flat Earth to strawman. We're just saying that if it's a flat plane and the sky is directly above it, there is a necessity that the shape of what you are seeing will change.
Yeah, that's silly. Like, that's a silly misinterpretation of shapes on your supposed flat Earth. In reality,
exactly how
right,
shapes work.
Well, no, because but in reality, all the stars form concentric, perfect circles wherever you look. The only difference is what they're rotating around, and that moves with the observer. So,
what do you mean it moves with the observer? Why would it?
Well, of course it moves with the observer. Even things like stellarium use stuff called an azimuthal grid. Puts this little half dome around the observer, and it marks the elevation angle to your azimuth, and it gives you the specific observations that match, the sky, match reality, and match the farmer's almanac, right? So the azimuthal grid is what we're talking about here. That's what's that's how we're measuring the stars.
That doesn't make sense for a flat plane, though.
Of course it does. Walter Bislin uses it beautifully, right? Thanks, Walter.
But the flat plane doesn't match what you see in the sky. Is the point? Unless you're saying that, like Jeranism claims, we all have a personal dome, which would adjust the position of what you see of the stars, which is just a complete misinterpretation of the way that light behaves.
Personal dome is a complete ridiculous statement. It's not a personal dome anything. It's
that's literally what Jeranism called it.
Yeah, I know. He's describing the same concept as I am. He just chose a poor name because now we get silly globers arguing about personal firmaments, and that's just stupid. It's nothing to do with the dome or physical reality.
Yeah, no one's saying it's a physical dome, right?
They did. They said my personal dome touching your personal dome if we look at the same star. That was one of the questions I got. Anyway.
That's not a claim that I would use. I understood what he meant, right? But it's not the way that you would see in reality.
Well, see, it is, though. It exactly describes reality. It's how sun calc works. It's how stellarium works. That's where I pulled the term, the azimuthal grid. It's how elevation angles work due to the observer. It's how celestial navigation works.
So in reality, though, if there is a shape above you, right, that shape is going to stay in a position. And as you move away from that shape, the actual shape is going to change. That's, if you have a circle in the middle of the room above you and you move to the side of that room, that circle is no longer a circle from your position, it's an oval.
Yeah, that's a silly Professor Phil argument, and it reminds me of that meme that every single thing you expect to happen on Flat Earth is absurd and retarded.
Do you disagree with what I just said, though?
Yeah, it wouldn't be an oval. It would look exactly like it looks in reality.
Of course it would be an oval.
Circles.
If you drew a circle in the middle of your room on the ceiling, and then you moved to the side of your room, what you are looking at, from your position, it would no longer look like a circle.
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing this little example in the room. I'm talking about in reality in the stars and trying to be the analogous concept. I haven't entertained putting it in my room and looking around because that's not what it does in reality, right? You get perfect concentric circles.
It's showing you that the apparent shape will change based on your position.
I love using Walter Bislin's model. Walter Bislin's model, that wonderful anti-flat earther who likes to pretend that because he had to connect the dots on his modeling with stupid bendy light rays that would mimic reality and present that from being used, when in reality, exactly, SunCalc works, timeanddate.com marks elevation angles and sunrises like this, and of course, stellarium with all the star observations use the same azimuthal grid and the same sky observations recorded over millennia, right? The Metonic cycle, the 19-year lunar cycle, the 19-year solar cycle, the 15-year lunar cycle, into the 651-year astrological cycle. Once you understand how those work, but that's studying of the sky. You look at the patterns, you can make predictions. They're not really predictions; they're predictions. You know what's going to happen because you understand the pattern.
You've completely avoided my point that the shapes would change because they're above you. You're just going, no, they wouldn't, without really get.
No, I'm saying that as you get further away from the center. Do you deny
what I'm saying about if you draw a circle on your ceiling and then move to the corner of the room, it's not going to look like a perfect circle to you? Do you disagree with that statement?
Yes, I do think that circle in reality is still a perfect circle, regardless of how you warp your perception to it
looking
on a small scale in your bedroom.
Does it look like a perfect circle anymore? No, it doesn't. It looks like an oval now because it's not straight above you anymore.
Can I do it in the dining room? My dining room is bigger than my bedroom.
Yeah, absolutely.
It doesn't have to be the bedroom then.
Any room.
So
the point is,
so your argument is that all star trails on Flat Earth should be elliptical.
As you move away, it no longer looks like a perfect circle. It looks like an oval from your position.
Hey, I got a quick question, Craig, because we're arguing about what you see in a room if you drew a circle on the ceiling and went over to the side and become an oval.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, when we're outside, we're dealing with how our eyes see our own reality and perspective. So when I go outside and it's a clear day with puffy clouds, about 14 miles away, those clouds smash into the horizon. But if I drive 14 miles over there, the clouds will be up at the same height they were where I was at home. So there is a perspective bubble over us.
I mean, what you just said matches the globe, and you're just saying it's a perspective bubble.
It matches how we view things. It's a limit. Yeah, that limit is displayed.
Which just so happens to be what you would expect to see on a globe. Amazing.
The only point I was making was
shape doesn't have anything to do with the ability or eyesight. How we projected the distance.
Why are you stepping all over Boston?
Well, yeah, the only thing I was saying is you were nailing the guys to the wall that they couldn't see how you were presenting the argument that if you drew a circle on the ceiling and walked over, it'd become oval. But the point is, we see out of our eyeballs that are spherical, and we see perspective and the vanishing point and all that, and you're negating the fact that reality...
It doesn't matter that our eyeballs are spherical, because our
No, but
brain
then you're going to
interprets
jump to, but it matches the globe. But it matches the globe.
Yeah, it does. That's what science does. We make predictions and see if it matches, and it matches the globe.
What's your income for being a flat Earth denier?
Decent. I'm a debunker.
I figured.
Not just a denier.
I figured. I mean, it's probably fun, and there's a lot of adrenaline rush going on with everybody.
Yeah,
all
I
the
have a
time,
lot
but
of fun doing this.
It is fun.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
you're
a science
famous.
communicator. I very much enjoy being a science communicator, being able to teach people real physics.
I like
it's not
your
my fault
accent
if you
too.
guys don't take it, on board. But there's a lot of my audience that have learned physics from me.
Well, you can learn a lot, but it can.
Well, the biggest experiment flaw that I can see inside of your model. Sorry, in your analogy, I see a big problem is that you're talking about drawing a circle on a square, flat ceiling, and the sky is clearly a circle around us, and it moves as well.
The sky moves now.
Yes.
What, with you, or?
Are you claiming the sky doesn't move?
It appears to move.
Have you ever seen clouds move? Do
There you
they
go.
move, or are you spinning underneath the clouds?
Wind's different.
So the wind is moving the clouds.
Wind moves the clouds, yes.
But you can believe
I
the
did an
clouds
entire
are moving.
video about that.
How do you know that?
Warrior.
How do you know you're not spinning underneath them in there? Are you sure? I mean, you can't even see wind.
Yeah, you can feel it though. You can see the
Sure
effects of
can.
it.
Yep.
Sure
And are
can.
you sure that's
Can't
not
feel the
caused
effects
by
of the spin of the
spin
Earth,
Yeah. Are
You
you
can
sure
feel
that's
the
not
effects of the spin of the
Earth?
Earth.
And the wind's created because the sun is moving?
No, the wind's created because of difference in difference in pressure.
Oh, the sun has nothing to do with it?
Well, there can be a pressure that follows with the path of the sun, but there's a lot more.
All that's
factors.
created by temperatures, by a
So
temperature
it's-
differential.
Yes, there's a lot more factors than just the position of the sun.
So we're okay with the clouds are moving over our heads, but the sun is not.
Wind is different to the rotation of the Earth.
Okay. So we're definitely going around the sun.
Yeah, that's been measured, yeah.
From the Earth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it's been measured. It's quite.
Can't really trust all that though, because he's saying he's predicted this thing, but not anywhere else, and only where he's at, and it's very difficult for him to travel due to his unfortunate injuries and whatnot. So
There's a lot of other people.
but
in the
wants to
world,
tell
though,
everybody else to go test it for him.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the world.
Sure is, and you're one of them.
Yeah, I'm also physically disabled.
You're the one making the profit off of it, ain't you? You just said you make a decent amount doing this.
Yeah, yeah.
Why would you
and-
need somebody else to pay for you?
Because I'm not going to spend my own money to go and do something. If someone wants me to go and do
Right.
it, they can pay me to do it.
There you go, folks. You heard the real blatant ugly truth all beneath the layers of all of it. I'm not going to spend my own money to go prove
Why
something.
would I go and spend my own money when there's other people in the world? I'm doing my own experiments. I'm just not going to the equator. I'm not stopping anyone from going to the equator. Anyone can do an experiment. You know, just because I'm not going to the equator, that's not some kind of gotcha. That's fucking dumb.
Yep. It's not dumb to believe in something you haven't actually done, though.
I don't have beliefs. Apart from the flying spaghetti monster, of course.
You said you believe, based on prediction, that the pendulum would.
I didn't say anything
have
about
its effect
believe.
at the equator.
I said that I have no reason to disbelieve it.
Which just means
Right.
you believe.
No, it just means I have no reason to disbelieve it. I have no reason to think that it wouldn't happen. I've been shown no evidence. I base my position on evidence. There is no evidence to suggest it won't happen. So I hold my position that I think it would happen based
no
on the
to
evidence.
suggest it would happen either.
Well, actually,
think it would happen.
there's lots of
Again,
evidence to suggest it would happen
to believe,
based on the
substitute.
data. There is evidence to suggest it would happen based on all the data set of every Foucault's pendulum experiment that's ever been done.
Except at the one place where it would show that it doesn't happen there.
Yeah, go and do it there if you want. That's fine. But you know, I've got plenty of data.
No, I'm not the one making all the money, big dog. You are.
Cool.
This keeps your income coming in, doesn't it?
If you've got a problem with making money, then that's just kind of a you problem.
No, I don't have a problem with you making money. I just think it's an awful hypocritical stance to say how, Flat Earth is only there for selling T-shirts and all that. Never seen a NASA shirt? You're the one getting paid for it. I'm not.
What are you on about? If someone's going to do the experiment, I'll 100% support that.
To sell Flat Earth T-shirts and stuff.
Anti-Flat Earth T-shirts like this one. In fact, this is on sale at the moment, 20% off.
You selling Flat Earth T-shirts, bro? I want one.
Anti-Flat Earth T-shirts.
No, not you.
No, that's the claim. They say that this whole Flat Earth movement was started to sell T-shirts and to con people into getting a quick dollar.
I never said that.
What percentage of people who wear a NASA shirt know what it stands for? 2-3%?
What does it stand for?
Never a straight answer, I thought. Not as
What does it stand for?
Administration.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure most people that wear a NASA T-shirt knows what it stands for.
Google it or YouTube it. You'll be very
awesome.
Your heart when you realize that all the people wearing those hoodies and shirts have no fucking clue. It should break your heart.
Everyone that I've spoken to knew, so you know. And even if some people don't, what does it matter?
I'm sure you made the effort to ask every single one of them, did you?
Again, the people that I know that wear NASA shirts know what it stands for.
You went out of your way, and I'll repeat it again. You went out of your way to ask every single one of them?
Everyone that I know that wears a NASA shirt knows what NASA stands for. Because
I'm
Jewish.
And you went out of your way to ask them.
Listen.
Have you gone out of your way to ask them? That's what I'm asking.
We talk about NASA all the time. We know what it stands for.
No, you don't need to because it's a belief, but you don't believe in anything.
Hey, NASA
is
a word.
I know that the people that I talk to know what NASA stands for.
Sure you do, just like you know that this pendulum is going to act the way it does without actually doing it.
I can make a prediction based on current data that exists and base my position on all of the evidence that exists.
You can.
Yeah.
And you can believe that it's correct.
There is no data to suggest that a pendulum would do anything other than not possess at the equator. Until there is some data
It doesn't matter. If you haven't done it, you don't know.
Until there is some data to present that, I have nothing else to base my position on.
In which case you believe this to be the case.
No, I base my position on the evidence that exists.
There is no evidence that exists at the equator.
There is evidence that at the equator there will be zero possession based on the data set that currently exists.
Based on evidence from everywhere else.
Yes, that's how evidence works, yeah.
Yeah. Therefore, what you're defining is called a belief.
No, it's a position based on evidence. You can try and force your childish need for belief on me if you want. But based on all of the evidence, based on all of the evidence that exists in the world, based on all of the evidence that exists on the world, all of the data sets of all the pendulum experiments that are done worldwide, the data suggests that there will be zero possession at the equator. There is no evidence to suggest anything other than that, so I base my position on the evidence that exists.
It suggests that it would. It doesn't prove that it has, does it?
No, it suggests it. That's why I base my position on...
Then you believe it.
No, I base my position on the evidence that exists, which suggests there will be zero
There is no
position
evidence.
at the equator. Apart from all the data sets
You're
in the
basing
world that
your
exist.
belief on missing evidence.
No, I'm basing
You're saying
my
the lack
position...
of evidence is evidence.
I am basing my position on the evidence that does exist.
Yeah, all right, and you're basing it on evidence that exists for something that has not been tried. So
I'm
what I'm
basing my
saying
position
is,
on
you
all the
believe
evidence
that this would
does
be correct.
exist, showing that there
You
is
can
a
reword it however you
decrease in
want,
the
but-
procession and then an increase in the procession. The data suggests that at some point there will be a zero value. I base my position on
Suggesting
that
is not
data.
evidence.
That is evidence. You don't know what evidence means.
Suggesting is not proof. Sorry.
I'd never said it was. I said it was evidence. Science doesn't care about proof.
Well, if it's not evidence, then you have to have a belief
It
that
is
it will
evidence.
be that conclusion.
It
You
is
want
evidence.
conclusion. You're basing your conclusion off of
I am basing my position on evidence that exists.
Hey, this should be called a Santa Claus exists because the cat.
That was a dumb thing to say.
Yes, yeah, Christmas exists, so Santa Claus must exist. That's right. No, we're basing our evidence.
Nothing said that. There's no evidence that Santa Claus exists. There is
No, it's
evidence.
'cause the cookies Sure there were is. eaten. Sure there is. Don't you see him
There
in
is
all the malls?
evidence.
Don't you see him in every household?
There is
Don't you see the
evidence.
pictures of him? There's
There
pictures
is
and video of
evidence
him. Don't
that
you
there
ever
will
see
be
it?
a zero precession at the equator. There's
And yet
evidence
there's
that
no
that will be the
experimentation
case.
to show that, so your presupposition
there's evidence-
of the
there's
outcome
evidence
of the
that that will
experiment
be the case.
is just a belief.
There is
And
evidence.
you can interrupt me all you want
There is
and try
evidence
to reword
that
it
that
all
will
you
be
want.
the case.
You're basing
You can
your
force your belief
information
on
on
me
a
all you want.
non-experiment,
I don't have
which
belief.
makes it a
I
belief.
base my position on the
Period.
data that does exist.
Right, exactly. That's called a belief.
No, it's basing a position on data that exists, not a belief.
Right. That is a belief, sir.
It's
Sorry.
literally not a belief. It's the opposite of a belief. I have no beliefs.
No.
I base my position on evidence that exists. And if
No,
there is
you
evidence
have to
that
reword
suggests
it because you
something
keep
else,
saying you don't
I will
have
change my
belief.
position. Beliefs don't change their position. I will change my position based on evidence.
But for now, you believe it's the other way.
No, I base my position on evidence. You can try and force your
On the evidence
childish
that
need for
hasn't been
belief on me.
conducted yet.
Yeah, you can try and force your childish need for a belief on me all you like, but I base my position on
amazing.
evidence.
It's awesome.
And all of the evidence in the world suggests that there will be a zero precession at the equator. Evidence suggests that to be the case. I base my position on the evidence that exists. No belief required. If evidence comes along that goes against my position will change because I don't have beliefs.
That sounds exactly why we don't have juries of one person. You know?
Yes.
You believe your beliefs are facts, and you can wait till
don't
later
have
to
beliefs.
change your.
I said evidence. I never said anything about facts. I said evidence that suggests something. I base
it
my
suggests something.
Yes,
but it's not been proven. So until it's
Science
been
doesn't
proven,
prove.
all
Science
you have
doesn't
is
prove.
evidence that
Science doesn't
suggests
prove.
this,
Again,
and
science
you
doesn't
believe
prove.
that suggestion is
Science
correct.
does
That's all there
not
is to it, man.
prove. Science does not prove. Science does not
Yeah,
care
we know.
about proof.
We know.
Science gives evidence for a position. And if different evidence comes along, my position changes. Because that's intellectually honest. I don't have beliefs because beliefs are rigid and don't care about evidence.
I wouldn't say all that. Beliefs are based in non-evidence. That's why they're beliefs.
Yeah, and I have evidence, so I don't have beliefs.
No, you only have. You do not have evidence of what you're saying. You have evidence that
Yes, I do.
suggests.
Yeah, and that's
and you
exactly what
believe
evidence
that
does. Evidence
suggesting
suggests
is
something,
correct.
yes. That's what evidence is, yes, absolutely. Well done.
Yep, and
You've now
and you
figured out what
believe-
evidence is. Well done.
Yeah, that's great.
Does
Right, now it's your turn to figure out what evidence is and what belief is.
I
We'll
don't
go
have a
through it one
belief.
more time.
I
maybe
base my
you,
position
maybe
on
you
evidence.
not interrupt that time. Okay, I'll go through it all again. Okay,
You can try and strawman
You
me as
have
much as you
evidence.
like. I base my position on
It's
evidence.
not
That
strawmanning
is not
you, dude.
going
It's
to
not
change.
strawmanning you. And again,
It
I
literally
knew
is,
you'd
because
interrupt.
you're
You
trying
can't
to
stop
force your
talking.
beliefs on me. I don't have
No,
beliefs.
it's not my
I
belief.
base my
It's your
position
belief.
on
You're making a
evidence.
claim of belief. It's not my belief. I don't know what the fucking pendulum was going to do. I don't make any claims, and I don't know any about it. I don't believe one way or the other.
Well, I can base my position on all the evidence that exists around all the pendulum in the world. And all of the
And that's
evidence
fine.
in the world shows that
And that's
something
fine.
is likely to be the case. If evidence
That's
comes
fine.
along, that shows that that position is incorrect, my position will change. That is the opposite to a belief.
We could talk about the no, it's really not.
It literally is, because my
missing
position
the
will
key point.
change.
You're missing
My
the key
position
point in the
changing
conversation.
is the opposite to belief.
Yeah, you can keep saying what you're going to say and keep interrupting. That's fine. But if no one has a chance to hear what I'm saying,
you're just saying the same
just
thing.
shut me up, right?
That you think
You're
I
saying
believe
the same
something,
thing.
but I
You're
don't.
saying the same thing for 10 minutes. My non-experiment is not a belief.
Do your experiment so that we can add that to the data set then.
It's not my experiment. It's your experiment too, man. It's everyone's experiment. Remember?
Go and
There's
do
other
the
people in
experiment.
world
You're the one.
like
You're the one that says you're going to do it. Go and do it then.
No, I didn't say I was going to go do it.
Oh, whoever
I
said
didn't
they
say
were going to
anything
do it.
like that.
Sorry, I thought you were you all blend together. One of you said you were going to do it.
Yeah, we all blend together. Boy, sounded close to a racist. Don't let it out.
Flat Earthers aren't erased, you fucking moron.
Careful,
Well,
careful. It
very
doesn't matter.
prejudiced,
It doesn't
actually.
matter. If you can say that 5 black cops beating up a white dude is white supremacy, we can stretch it a little further than that too. But
What are you fucking talking about?
It's called prejudice, is what it is. And yes, we will organize a crew to go there and do the experiment for you, Craig, because we'll do all of the things for you. No problem.
I'm doing my own experiments. I've done plenty already.
Yeah. I'm sure.
The
And they're
amount
not
of
biased.
evidence that's been brought.
What have you done to test the flat Earth? That's something I'll ask you. What have you done to test the flat Earth instead of testing against the globe?
I tested distances to see if what they matched, and they matched the globe.
What distances? Over what? Where?
Between the distances that are shown to be factual on a globe, I tested them to see if they were. To see if they were what a globe would say, or if they were what a flat Earth would say, and the distances that I tested
What does
matched
flat
the
Earth
globe.
say?
Well, the azimuthal equidistant projection map, which a lot of flat earthers show, say that the distances would have been about 2.5 more than what they would have been on a globe. I tested them, and they didn't match what it said on the AE map or the Gleason's map. It
Yeah, but
matched
what do you
it
know
said on
about the ocular range of your eyeballs on flat Earth? How do you know to test that?
That's
I mean, we
nothing
haven't
to do with
honestly,
testing distances.
we haven't even tested what level is. You know what I mean?
What do you mean? What level is? We know what level
Neither
is.
one, flat Earth and globe Earth can't determine what level is.
No, I know what level is. Fine.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
I'm sure, of course you do. You
There's
know
many
everything
different
there is to know.
definitions of level depending on the circumstances. The main adjective of level is conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of Earth's surface, having an elevation no higher than no part. The elevation
And
the same
what
the whole
was
way.
done to test that? What experiment was done to test that? Whether level is true level over a flat plane, or whether it curves to a ball with gravity,
Surveying.
pulling the water to the center, making level.
I mean, it's just what surveyors use as the term level for their job. So
No.
And engineers use.
See, that's
as
exactly the
term
problem.
level.
You don't know how to test it. You haven't
Right,
tested
but,
it. You're coming across the problem where
you want
nobody
to test the word level. I mean, level just means
No,
level.
I want to test what level is. I don't want to test the word level. I want to test what level is.
What do you mean? What level is? Level is a word.
Well, again, since we're talking about two models here, one model is going to have level as conforming to the water on a sphere, right? Like you said. Or on a flat Earth, on a flat plane, level is actually level, like all the way across. Level would be level, true level. It wouldn't
true
conform
level,
to a
according
ball.
to engineers and surveyors, is the curvature of the Earth. So I think you're confused with terms here.
No, that's not. According to surveyors, they don't consider what the flat Earth means and what true level would be, where level is the same level on the other side of the Earth. How would level
that's
conform
just
to
what
a
the
ball
term
if there is
level
no ball?
means.
No, it's not. It doesn't mean that. No, it doesn't.
It literally does. I mean,
no,
if you want to argue with engineers, surveyors, the dictionary, that's up to you. But
that's a good job, babe.
I mean,
again,
there's many different
that shows
meanings
whether
of
level is on a true plane or conforming to a ball.
Well, tow tanks for testing of hydrodynamics show that level is curved over the surface of water quite easily.
Did they really change the definition of level in the Webster Dictionary as having no part higher than the other conform to the curvature of liquid parts of the Earth's surface?
It's been that.
Are you freaking kidding me?
It's been that for all the time.
So I guess we need to predefine level as being like when we refer to the Earth as being level and stationary as being perpendicular to vertical, right? Horizontal, perpendicular to vertical.
I mean, level has many different meanings. You realize this, yeah?
They keep trying to change the definition of level. We'll just quit using the damn word.
Yeah, of course.
Are you talking about an adjective, a verb? Which version of level are you talking about?
Nobody's been trying to change it either. There's been talked about.
If you have to ask, you're not smart enough for this conversation in the first place, bud.
Horizontal and perpendicular to vertical.
So when you're talking about level, are you talking about an adjective? Are you talking about a verb? Which one are you referring to? Because there's many different versions of level depending on how you're using the word. But you can have a curved surface and have another curved surface that is level to that curved surface.
Or your hot mic, man.
I think I just clarified it. It's horizontal, perpendicular to vertical.
Yeah, that's one of the meanings, but level can also mean having no elevation higher than another at both sides, and that would mean that it would follow a curved surface. You can have one curved surface above another curved surface, and that is level. They are level to each other.
You mean parallel?
No, parallel would be straight lines. If the two lines are curving, and those curves are exactly the same, then they are level to each other. The distance between them doesn't change for the whole curve. That means that they are level.
So in no way can one singular curved line be called level? Is that what you're saying?
Sorry?
So are you saying that one singular curved line cannot be called level?
Well, no, level is a reference to something else, isn't it? Like conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of Earth's surface. So if there's a line that curves conforming to the liquid parts of Earth's surface, then it's level to it. So that's what level means. It's, you know, in reference to something else having no parts higher than another. So if you have a ball and you have 2 points on that ball that are 5 centimeters above that ball, and you make a line that stays 5 centimeters above that ball the whole way to connect them, then that line is level to the ball. This is just what the word level means.
Just leaving them no room to wiggle out of it. Like when you have 2 spots, the vertical would be parallel, and level would be horizontal and perpendicular to vertical.
No, not all the time. The verticals wouldn't.
The level we're referring to does.
That's why there's multiple versions of level, and you need to, when we're talking about the Earth, it literally means conforming to the
and you asked which one we're referring to, and she just told you, and now you're backpedaling to other versions of it to support your bias.
No, I'm just saying that there is multiple versions of the word. If you look in the dictionary, there's a whole bunch of
Great, so why did you ask which one we were talking about?
Because I was trying to find out what she was meaning, so that I knew.
And now you have. And now you have.
Yeah, so...
Now what?
So we agree
that
now
you're going to tell us there's multiple versions of it?
There is. Look in the dictionary.
Great, what does that have to do with anything?
It wasn't me that brought it up.
No, I know. You were the one. Yeah, you were the one that asked. Which level are you talking about? She told you. Now, well, let's move forward. Now you know what level we're referring to.
Yeah. So level, but level in general, when we're talking about Earth, means following the curve of the Earth, because that's what level on Earth is. Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's conforming to the curvature of the liquid parts of Earth's surface. Right? When we're talking about level to the Earth, we're talking about a curve. And this is what you get from tow tanks, right? The tow tanks, hydrodynamic tow tanks that allow you to do hydrodynamic testing on boats and subs and stuff, right? Massive tanks of water that have tow lines that could bring the things in and out. And these tow lines have to be an exact distance above the water the whole way. And they have someone literally go along to make sure that at each point the tow line is a certain distance above the water. And it is the whole way. And that tow line that is level to the water is curved. Because water on Earth curves. So when I'm not sure what her name is. I'm not being rude, but when the lady came on and said, "Oh, they've changed the definition of level," no, they haven't changed the definition of level. Level needs to be used in context.
Never been that. It has never been that. And where I don't know where you.
It's been that for as long as I've used it.
Water doesn't curve anywhere. Nowhere else.
Water always curves.
And there's thousands of measurements. It's not showed it to curve.
Always curves. It's amazing. Oh, it's amazing.
Again,
except in frozen 8 Mile Lake, it doesn't curve then.
Say again.
I said, except for 8 Mile Lakes, when the water's frozen and dude's trying to do an experiment to see it, and he can see all the way to the other end of the lake, and has measurements from
pretty good refractive conditions over a frozen lake, aren't you? That's in fact going to have the most extreme lapse rate, right? So the ice is frozen, really cold, and that means that the air just above it
Explain how it looks.
I'm talking right now, right? It means the air just above the ice
you're explaining how it looks
okay, so I'll start again, right? The ice is extremely cold below freezing, which means that the air just above the ice is going to be extremely cold and dense. And as you move away from the ice, it gets warmer and less dense, okay? Because it's cold, and then it moves away from it. And that's called the lapse rate. And when you have an extreme lapse rate, like over ice, you get the most extreme refractive conditions, allowing you to see really far.
Mm.
We went through refraction. Refraction exists, right? Unless at any particular point.
I know.
Unless at any particular point.
When do extreme conditions allow you to see further?
Since
Doesn't
refraction
it hinder?
exists.
It just hinders your vision. It removes and reduces the resolution
That's not how
of your
refraction
vision.
works. The lapse rate, you're generally over ice, you're going to have pretty nice and good conditions, but you're going to have extremely high refractive index because of the lapse rate.
That's why you like to stick on it, because it's a problem. It's a problem for you. You need something that's going to enhance your resolution to allow you to see further, because you need an explanation for why you can see so far.
Because of refraction, because there's a high lapse rate, like I just said.
Reverse engineering logic or whatever for the people that's brainwashed, because any type of refraction.
I literally just explained how there's a higher lapse rate.
You cannot.
I literally just explained how there's a higher lapse rate above the ice, meaning there is a higher refractive index, giving you extreme conditions, allowing you to see further.
All right, a high refractive index. Well, you define one type of refraction that will lengthen the distance to your horizon, that will increase the resolution of your vision.
Refraction doesn't increase the resolution. It's nothing to do with increasing the
resolution. And that will also extend the horizon further than what it's.
Yeah, that's called looming. Yeah, that's called looming. That's
that is not. No, it is not. Lumen only, it shortens. No, it does not. Lumen shortens your horizon. Lumen shortens
brings
your
the horizon up.
Horizon because it casts an image of the sky onto the water.
No, it doesn't.
And it shortens your horizon.
No, it doesn't. Looming lifts the horizon up.
Just further than.
Looming lifts the horizon up, allowing you to see further.
That's what lumen is. The object is
you don't know what looming is, clearly. Looming allows.
I do know what lumen is.
Clearly not, because you just said the wrong thing about it. Looming lifts the horizon up, allowing you to see further.
It makes it appear to be lifted.
Exactly. It appears to lift the horizon up, correct.
Why?
Yeah.
You want to explain why? Why does it
I just did, because there's a high refractive index thanks to the lapse rate.
It appears to be lifted because there's an image
exactly,
of the sky
it does appear to be
the water.
There's no
and
sky.
it makes the horizon appear to be
shorter. There's no sky being cast. I don't know where you're getting that from. You're just making things up now.
No, it makes the appearance that the boat is in atmosphere when it's not.
There's no boats over ice.
I don't know why you're talking. It shortens your horizon.
You need to shut up for 15 seconds.
You need to define a form of refraction that's going to lengthen your horizon.
Yeah,
not
looming does that. Looming will bring the horizon up.
No, looming does not do that.
It absolutely
looming
does.
shortens your horizon.
No, looming brings the horizon up, allowing you to see further.
So your answer is
looming's nothing to do with the sky. I don't know where you got that from.
Yeah, and no offense, but refraction's not said to allow you to see further, but it's said to refract.
Exactly what it does.
Excuse me, it's said to refract images from a distance to your eyes.
Yeah,
delivered from light. It doesn't allow you to see further. It refracts.
It absolutely does allow you to see further. Yes, that's exactly what it does.
No, you don't see further.
It exactly does that. It allows you to see over it.
No, you don't see further. You see the image that's delivered or projected to your eyes by light. That's not increasing the distance of your vision. It's projecting an image to you.
It allows you to see over the curve, which increases the apparent distance.
No, it doesn't. That's not what it says it does.
I've demonstrated
it doesn't allow you to see over a curve. It refracts an image from the other side.
Refraction brings the images up above the curve. That's exactly what it does. I've demonstrated that.
Yeah, that doesn't increase your eyesight. It doesn't.
No one said it does. It allows you to see further.
It's called projection.
It's bringing things up above the curve, which
it doesn't allow you to see further.
Of course,
it projects images to your eyes.
It brings things up above the horizon, which allows you to.
You don't even know the shit you spit. Now you're just spitting bullshit.
It's not my fault that you are too dense to understand.
A refracted image is an image that's projected to you. Yeah, it's real simple.
The refracted image allows you to see further because it lifts things up from behind the horizon.
Yeah, great claim.
Well, not a claim. I can show it happening.
Yeah, of course you can, because all you have to do is show a flat plane and then say, oh, refraction just makes it look
No,
flat.
I can literally show a curve. I can literally show a curve and refraction bringing things above that curve. Do you want me to,
when you sit down before having a meal, do you sit down and pray for refraction and gravity?
Yeah, so do you see,
Why would I
does
pray?
it allow you to see around the curve, or does it bring that image from around the curve?
Yeah, it allows you to see
your
around the
eyes?
curve. It allows you to see around the curve, which makes you see further.
You're trying to use refraction as your savior.
It's all I need. It allows you to see further.
And he doesn't really understand it.
I understand it perfectly. Refraction allows you to see. Refraction allows you to see over the curve, which makes you see further. I understand how light works
an image to
perfectly.
your eye. It doesn't increase your eyesight or your
No one told you. No one said it increases your eyesight.
It only
because
brings
the
an
light's
image
bending.
closer
But
to you,
Michael,
so
shut
it's
the
more
fuck
resolute.
up.
That's not an increase of acuity.
Child, be quiet.
It
allows you. It allows you to see over the curve.
There is more people in this
It allows you to see. Why do you guys not want me to talk? Are you scared to? Are you too scared to let me talk? Is that what this is? Are you too scared to let me talk now? Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So refraction allows you. No, there we go. Scared to let me talk once again. Every time. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's funny.
So, no, okay, no, once again, no, still not letting me talk. Brilliant.
Watch him spiral.
Yeah, here we go. Are you ready?
All right,
Anytime?
everyone. Everyone's talking. Nobody's listening. Nobody can hear anything that anyone is saying except for
this
Shane.
is so much
Yeah,
fun.
we're just gonna listen to Shane until everyone shuts the fuck up. All right, now Craig, go. Nobody else.
Refraction makes light bend around the curve, which allows you to see further. I can demonstrate this happening with videos showing things behind the curve being lifted up, allowing you to see around the curve. That allows you to see further on Earth.
Anybody can go. Sorry, I just wanted order.
No, there's no point. This dude comes in every scenario we say the Earth is flat and non-rotating, and he has every excuse on why it's moving.
Evidence, yeah.
And we can see the distances we see because of all these complex, ridiculous things, and it all equals out to a flat, stationary, non-rotating Earth.
So because you find it complicated...
Yeah, well, it's just funny how all your
wait, hold on.
Exactly,
so because you find it complicated... Hold on. So because you find it complicated, therefore it doesn't exist. Is that right?
No, because you said
That's what it sounds like.
And you're full of shit.
You said facts wrong, dumbass.
No, it's easy. All I have to do is compare every single thing you say and every argument you say, and everything you say openly admits that this is what we see. We see too far. Yeah, but it's because of this.
Yeah, there's a reason.
We don't feel the motion of the Earth. Yeah, it's because of this.
Why would we feel the motion of the Earth? There's no reason we should.
No, it's because of this. It's because of everything. You've got a reason and a complicated excuse for everything. And the reason why it's
no
complicated
excuses,
is because
explanations.
It's because
Like
people are saying that the Earth is flat for us, but for you, you've got to explain
That's
how it's all
because,
these
as
weird
Jin said,
things and
ignorant
optical
people think the Earth
illusions.
is flat.
And I
Oh
also
well, great. That's awesome. How scientific. You sure science the shit out of that insult there, buddy.
That's not an insult. Sorry. Calling somebody ignorant isn't an insult. You can stop being ignorant. It's
Yeah,
a fact.
I know. Everything
It's a
you're saying is wrong.
fact.
Hey,
You
man,
are
just like
ignorant
you
of
is for.
physics, right? I'm not insulting you. Hold on. I'm not insulting you. I am stating a fact.
Yeah.
You are ignorant about physics. That's not an insult. It's just a fact.
Well, the good
I'm
thing is
ignorant
truth stands on its own, and hopefully
Yeah,
your
right. Yeah,
viewers
truth does
will
stand
go
on
out
its own, and truth shows the Earth is
yeah,
not flat.
and hopefully your viewers will go out and 1.225 times their observer height. If they see beyond that, it's not spherical. It's not the sphere they say it is.
Refraction
It's
exists,
that
though, so
simple.
it's
That's
fine.
all they've got to do. 1.225 times the observer height.
If there was no atmosphere, then that would prove
all of
something.
your
Yeah.
viewers need to do that. They need to observe the sun with crepuscular rays. And all these
Crepuscular
things
rays
you're
do
seeing is
not
some
show where the
optical
sun is. That's
illusion.
fucking ridiculous. In fact, did you know crepuscular rays are parallel?
Yeah,
No, I've proven
viewers,
this with
go check for
actual
yourself.
videos.
This is your hero.
Of course you have. You've proven everything.
I've literally proven that.
So what is he actually? Because I wanted to hear what Battermont wanted to
Just
say
like you
about what
proved the
refraction
experiment at the
actually
equator,
is.
right?
So there is a version of what refraction actually is, what Battermont was trying to say before he was interrupted. I wanted to hear that instead of listening to this guy making his own version of what refraction
I don't
is.
have my own version.
You see what this is, dude? I don't know why anybody takes you seriously, bro. Every single thing someone says, you got to take a contradictory point, man. No, it's just you're
explain why they're wrong. That's my literal job.
You're here to look smart in front of an audience. That's all you care about. You don't care about the topic. In fact,
No, you're right. I do look smart in front of my audience. That's why I have a large audience.
What were you going to say, Battle?
Yeah, you're doing it for money. You're saying what you need to say for money. Yeah, no shit.
Does that trigger you?
No, it doesn't trigger me. It just shows how gullible your audience is.
Do you need
They
it?
want to
Do you
agree
need?
with you. They want to agree with each other so much.
Yeah, it seems to me you need everybody to be triggered or angered at your answer.
I find it fucking hilarious how easy you guys are to trigger. It's just that.
Yeah, I find it funny that you claim people are triggered who are not triggered at all. Maybe a little bewildered, but not triggered.
I mean, like,
definitely
if I was
triggered.
making an argument, right, and I felt like I was losing the argument, I might try to trigger some people to get out of it, you know?
Sure.
Oh, I don't
want
need to.
people hurt,
I don't
I'll
need
just
to trigger them.
overtalk
They trigger themselves, Shane. You know that.
And then, if I don't want a person to be hurt, I'll just keep talking, you know?
Hey, this guy's holding to a strawman version of refraction and going with it. Like, yeah.
No.
I got
I'm
you
using the
guys.
actual refraction.
Well, to be fair, I don't think that his position is any less ridiculous or obtuse than the globe's general position of we can invoke infinite refraction near the Earth's surface and literally see my own ass. Yeah, like that's kind of like they can invoke infinite refraction. There's no way you're ever going to convince the glober that any observation you see at ground level is anything more than a ridiculously refracted horizon.
I mean,
Holy crap,
refraction
Mike.
exists and it does what we say. So, I mean, there's just no argument.
Maybe his viewers
Terrestrial
are clicking join the
refraction.
Discord. Sorry, who was that?
Terrestrial. Flatsy climb up here. But terrestrial refraction invokes the R value. So prove that. I would like to know when somebody's directly measured the curvature, please.
There's satellites that measure it all the time.
I love the script you guys
Satellites are taken in strip imaging and posted together in composite images.
Not all of
Try
them.
again. Yeah, they are. They are. All of them. Yes, they are. There's not one single photo of the Earth all in one frame.
Yeah, again, they
That
don't
wasn't
use the photos
composite.
to measure it. They use radar to measure the radius of the Earth.
Yeah.
Hey, they needed that R value before they shot up those satellites. So show me where they did that.
Yeah, we've known what the radius of Earth is for many years.
Yeah, okay, well, you needed to know that before you shot a satellite up for orbit and all the other things.
We did know it. You're right. We've known that it's about 4,000.
Okay, well, show me where they did that, where they directly measured the curvature, please.
Which version do you want?
Any one that I can replicate, repeat.
Well, if you want to go and learn how to become a geodetic surveyor, you could replicate the transcontinental triangulation in the American Arc of Parallel. Is that right? There you go then. Go and become a surveyor. That means going to college, studying a bit, learning
I
how
like
to do
how
geodetic
you
surveying.
like to point everywhere away from yourself to prove your religion. Thank you.
Well, no, you just asked where you can replicate it, right? I've just told you. There's a survey.
No,
called
you
the
didn't.
Transcon-
You didn't tell me anything, dude.
I'm literally I'm literally talking right now. If you let me finish, right? There's a geodetic survey. There's a geodetic survey. No, okay, right. So I'm not allowed to talk. All right, I understand.
Well,
All you can do is fucking talk.
Oh, it's gonna look shit.
Yeah, I've no idea what you're saying. No. Right. Okay. So I'll just respond to that lady again. So as I said, there's a survey called the Transcontinental Triangulation of the American Arc of the Parallel, done by professional geodetic surveyors. If you would like to confirm that, I'm talking right now. If you would like to confirm that, then the way you can do that is to go to college, learn how to become a geodetic surveyor, and replicate the measurements yourself.
Triangles require straight lines, buddy.
Spherical triangles exist.
Where can I observe this parabola of curvature? Please tell me.
I've just told you, if you want to go and learn to be a geodetic surveyor and do the measurements yourself and find out that it matches the curvature of the Earth.
Thank you for no proof. Thank you.
I've just told you where to go and do it. It's not my fault if you're too lazy.
That's not proof. You didn't prove anything.
There's measurements that you can go and check. If you want to, you asked me where are measurements that I can go and replicate. I've told you where the measurements are, what it is, the Transcontinental Triangulation, American Arc of the Parallel. You can find it on mctoon.net/r. Right, the measurements are all there. The methodology is there. You can go and replicate it yourself, which is what you asked for. That geodetic survey calculated the radius of the Earth. Or you can find, let's say 50 people around the world. And you can do an Eratosthenes type experiment with 50 people.
He's out of breath. He's just the whole. He just burns the whole.
Oh yeah, so
I am tired after that.
The sun is far away. Okay, thanks.
The sun's definitely very far away. Yeah.
Okay, well, how can you verify that one?
You could do parallax measurements.
Do what kind of measurements?
You could do parallax measurements throughout the year. You can, in fact, the best way to determine how far away the sun is radar. First done in 1967 by a team at MIT using extremely strong radar, bounce it off the sun, determine the distance to it via radar. That can be repeated. Just go and get the equipment.
That's incredible that light keeps going parallel and sideways, with an Earth going 17 to 18,000 miles per second.
That doesn't stop light going parallel.
Yeah, why would it? It wouldn't stop. It would stop it from moving with the Earth, though, right?
No, because C is C.
Oh, I got you. C is C. Yeah.
Yeah. No matter the speed you're going, the speed of light will always be C. That's just, a foundation of relativity, all right? So it doesn't matter how fast you're going. Light is still going to be going the speed of light.
As the laser leaves the Earth, it takes 8 minutes to get to the sun.
I didn't say laser, I said radar.
To come back. Okay, is that longer or what?
Well, it's not laser. It's not a laser, it's radar. They're different things. I'm sure you know that, right?
So then, the radar is sent from Earth, and it bounces off the sun. That's 8 minutes, right?
Yep.
And then 8 minutes back is 16 minutes.
Correct, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How far would the Earth travel in 18 miles per second? In 16 minutes.
Quite far, but you'd still be able to know how far the radar's traveled.
How? How would it ever come back? It would be going into, it would be bouncing back into a place we're not at.
Radar isn't a direct line, it's spherical.
You're right. So then then you're really getting into crazy territory now.
Well, no, you can still see the return of the radar based on the frequency.
You're talking about
obviously the signal
we're
you get
talking
back.
about intercepting radar bouncing off the sun.
Obviously, the signal you get back will be a lot weaker than the signal you sent, but you can still measure the signal and how long it's taken to get to the sun and back. Take into account the distance that the Earth would have traveled and calculate the distance to the sun. This has been done.
Sure, of course it has. Everything you say has been done, except for that experiment.
Do you want me to put the scientific paper in the chat?
How many alleged measurements do they have for the sun? Didn't they change it like by 100, like tens of millions of miles, 4 or 5
Throughout
different
history,
times?
the accuracy of the measurement has increased. That's kind of what science does.
Except for that one guy that said, it matters not which distance we put the sun at. Any distance will do just as well.
Who said that?
Except for that guy.
Just making stuff up now, I guess.
No.
I mean, are we really supposed to believe that the sun travels 93 million miles?
Your belief is
to
irrelevant.
get here. To get here, no. What you're saying, we have to believe because there's no evidence for it. So
Well, apart
this is
from
what
the
we have
radar
to believe,
measurements, of course, that I just
the sun's
talked
light
about.
travels 93 million miles, and then the short distance that it takes for the wobble of the Earth is going to change seasons, like have snow, and 6 months later.
Well, that's
have
not to do
sun,
with how
like
far the light
eight-
travels. That's right, hold on. Right,
93
season.
million?
Hold
Oh,
on,
it's
hold
gonna
on.
fluctuate
One
that
sec.
much
Hold
after
on.
having
Hold
already
on.
have traveled
Hold on.
93 million
Stop.
miles.
Will you stop a sec, right?
Just insane.
Pretty sure she was
Let me.
talking
Right.
first.
Right.
She was talking first.
She's talking.
Yeah, yeah, she kept going on. I want to explain about seasons because she's got that wrong. So stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
she was talking first.
Stop.
FTFE.
Everyone
She was
stop and let
talking
me
first,
explain.
so shut up.
Right. So the distance to the sun.
Bro.
I am now
She's
responding
talking.
to her. I am now responding to her.
All right.
The distance to the
Finish,
sun
Truth,
isn't
please.
what
Thank
the
you.
the distance to the sun isn't what causes the seasons. It's the tilt of the Earth and the
She's
fact that
talking. She's talking. She's talking.
I'm responding to
I'm
her.
disengaging with him. It's just ridiculous. I
I'm
just hope
responding
his
to her.
Viewers don't believe it.
You didn't let her finish.
No, you're interrupting.
She has finished.
Where I come from, that wasn't a response. It's called
Everybody's helping too much.
I'm trying to respond to what she said about the seasons.
No,
No, you're not responding. You're interrupting. You don't even know what you're responding.
Yeah, conversations have a back and forward. That's how it works.
No.
Right? So.
Wait, hold it there, right there.
No, I'm going to talk now.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Hold on. No,
I'm going to
you're
talk
not.
now. I'm going to talk now.
Go ahead.
Right. So.
Boy, you're triggered.
No to
Michael.
So. The distance to the sun.
what?
He was talking. He was talking.
The distance to the sun isn't anything to do.
Oh.
This is really
The distance to the sun isn't anything to do with the seasons. What you have for the seasons is the tilt of the Earth and the amount of energy per square mile that light has to cover.
That's
when you
exactly
are
what I
tilted,
said. That's what I was pointing out.
when you are tilted away from the sun, more.
Yeah, I think we all know this. You're just being dragged.
How much distance does the
Right,
tilt
so,
cover?
Again,
Well, on one
it's
point,
not the
tilted from one side to the
distance.
other, how
It's
much
not the
would that cover?
distance. It's the tilt, right? And the fact that because the
distance
Earth is
of the
tilted,
differentials of the tilt.
because the Earth is tilted, that means that the same amount of energy has to cover a larger area, right?
And
The
go
area
a further distance due to the angle and the tilt and the curve.
Come on, man. We gotta let him finish if we don't want him interrupting us, right? Because he's just gonna do it more if we do it to him. And we're gonna keep doing it to him. And he's gonna do it to us, and then no one's gonna say anything. And it's gonna be a mess. Yeah, but like
the distance to the sun is nothing to do with the seasons. It is the
It's
tilt
like
of the
rubbing a
Earth.
dog's nose and piss.
It is the
Why
tilt of the
doesn't
Earth.
Wait, yeah, it's the tilt. The
Right?
tilt.
And the reason that
turns
it is the
towards
tilt,
the
which
sun.
means that there is the same amount of energy covering a larger area. Right? That means that it's less energy per square meter of Earth. The bits that are directly facing the Earth that aren't tilting, they have more direct
$30
light,
for number
hence
2.
more energy per square mile. Right? That's why the seasons happen. When you are tilting towards the sun, you have more energy per square mile, which means it's warmer. When you're tilting away from the sun, you have less energy per square mile, which means that it is colder. It's not to do with the distance, it's to do with the amount of light covering a certain area. There we go. I hope you are now educated about the seasons.
Educated? I wouldn't talk about someone being educated. Someone who look, all you have are beliefs. You can't.
No, that's
there's
just how it works.
absolutely nothing on the globe model that works out.
It works perfectly.
Nothing. Not one single thing on the globe model works
That's
out.
a lovely claim you just made, that the globe explains
you have
everything.
No curvature. The Earth has
apart
been
from the measured
flat.
curvature.
Water doesn't bend around a
Water
ball.
does curve.
All the water
I've
that's
proven
measured
it.
is not. Yeah, and your viewers can go out and test it themselves.
Yeah, they can, and they always find it's
You
curved.
can't explain the third body problem. You can't explain
Yeah, I
why
can.
when the moon is on the same side as the Earth as the sun, and if people would think about this, it doesn't work out. Like there's nothing logically works out. Even before you dig into it, and when you dig into it, you find out that there's so many holes and flaws in it.
There's no holes. There's you not understanding.
If
That's
there's
not
supposed
holes.
to be some balance, and the moon and the sun is on the same side of the Earth, we would have done collided by now. There's no way.
Why would we have collided?
We have a local sun and we have a local moon. It's observable.
No, we don't.
Local.
We've measured
You
how
can
far
see-
away the sun is.
You can see the
We've measured how far away the moon is.
resolution of the sun. You can see it get larger as it approaches you. You can see
No,
it
it
get
doesn't.
smaller as it moves away.
The sun does not change
The
in angular
moon
size
and
throughout the
sun
day.
Are relatively the same size. If you use a solar
Use a solar filter, you see there's no change in angular size. Yeah.
No, then you can tell. There's plenty of videos if people want to look for them. They
No,
probably
there's
need to come in
no
and observe to
videos.
find them,
That's a lie.
because
That
it's
is an
very
absolute lie.
sensitive.
There is no
Very
videos of
sensitive
using a
topic. They
solar
won't find
filter
it.
showing the angular size of the sun changing. If you use a solar filter, you see it doesn't change. This has been proven multiple times.
People's got video of it changing.
Not with a solar filter, they don't.
So
know.
there's evidence.
There is no
evidence
videos
doing
of solar
that.
filter that show it changing. Not one.
I don't know if I personally have one. I've seen one. I don't know if I
No,
personally
there
have
isn't
one
any. I've
with
checked.
a solar filter.
Right, the
Maybe-
ones that
maybe
claim
if
that there's a solar
someone-
filter, they're not using a solar filter.
I'm sure someone in here's got one if they can post it. But there's plenty of videos of the sun
There's-
changing in angular
There's
size.
literally
And I
no
don't have to
videos with a
convince
solar
people.
filter.
That's the thing. I don't have to convince them. All of these observations are available for people
Yeah,
to
Shane,
do
where's
on
the
their
solar
own.
filter, dude? Do it with a solar filter, and you see it does not change. It's simple as that.
Where's your measurement? Where is the initial measurement, and where is your measurement? Have you done any measurements of
I've
the Earth
verified the measurements.
curving
Yeah.
over water? Any
Yeah.
observations of not like? Let me ask you this: have you seen any observations whatsoever where at 1.225 times the square root of your observer height, or whoever's doing it, observer height? Have you ever seen an observation where you saw beyond that point?
Yeah, because we've got an atmosphere and refraction exists.
Yeah, that means that it's not a sphere the size
No, it
they
means
claim
refraction
it is, 'cause
exists.
that's an impossible observation if it were.
Apart
So
from
thank
refraction
you.
exists.
Welcome to Flat Earth.
But are you denying refraction exists? Because that would be dumb.
And it's only going to hinder it. It's only going to
No, refraction allows us to see around the curve, as I've proven multiple times.
So how did they ever measure the radius to ever begin with? If it's so elusive.
There's many ways to do it. But modern ways, like I said, radar from space is one of the best ways.
Well, it needed to be done specifically before that.
Yeah, and people did it in many different
If
ways.
the horizon is so elusive because of refraction, how was
Yeah,
curvature?
the horizon isn't normally the only Alberuni really used the horizon to measure the radius of the Earth, and he kind of fudged everything up. To be honest, the horizon isn't normally a way. We don't use the horizon as a normal way to measure the radius of the Earth.
Okay, then how do you do it? If you can't
Many other
measure
ways.
the
They use two geodesic
sticks.
surveying.
They use 2 sticks in the sun.
Yeah, Eratosthenes experiments work, especially when you use many, many, many data points, like Slice Arcane did. I think he had 37. There's lots of different ways to measure the radius of the Earth. It's been done many times.
Yeah, well, that only shows that the sun could be close and local or far away. It doesn't show anything.
Not if you use more than 2 sticks, it doesn't, no. When you use more than 2 sticks, it actually
Yeah.
gives conflicting positions for the sun, if the Earth was flat. Just go to Slice Arcane's video.
How
where
would you
he-
even know?
Because
How would
it
you
was
know that?
Slice Arcane modeled it out.
Oh, I see. So there is a flat Earth model. Your guy modeled our model out.
Well, we based a flat plane with known distances. That's all we did. So if we assumed that A was a point, we know that B is a certain amount of miles away from it, so we can put that on a flat plane just as we can on the globe.
Really? What height did he put the sun at?
Well, it gave many different positions for the height of the sun. That was the point.
Okay, so what did he do? What was it? What were those heights?
There was many different heights. If you go to Slice Barkane's video, I'll get it and post it in the chat. He went.
If there's many of them, you should be able to name a few.
Yeah, I don't know them off the top of my head. I'm sorry, I don't know them off the top of my head.
Is that what? That could be one of them, Craig. The one I just posted in the side chat for you.
I'm sorry that I don't know the exact numbers that Slice Barkane found for the apparent position of the sun if the Earth was flat off the top of my head. I do not have an eidetic memory. I apologise for that.
You go through the video.
That's not about eidetic memory. It's you claiming that this is proof of something and you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't even know any of the
exact
details
numbers. I can get you the details. That doesn't mean anything.
Who is Slice Barkane?
It means that you have a hard belief in this. That's what it means.
Is he a scientist?
He's an engineer.
Or just some YouTuber?
Okay, here we go. I'll get the...
Who is Slice Barkane?
He's an engineer that did an experiment worldwide. So I'm just getting the video for you now. I'm going to pop it in the chat so you can all look at it. In live stream text, there we go. If you go to that video that I've just... If you go to that video that I've just posted, and you go to... Oh, thank you. Right. If you go to, let me see, about 7 minutes in, it shows it mapped on a flat plane versus a globe and all the different data points that he gathered from all the different people around the world. And as it goes, it shows that based on the data points from people around the world, you would have multiple positions for the sun. And then he mapped that onto a globe with known data, and it showed that the rays from the sun would be parallel. I'm not even showing that on my screen, and I thought I was. Sorry, guys, give me 1 sec. I'll pop that up from my audience.
Ridiculous. I hope your audience hears that you're relying on this dude experiment just based without any knowledge of where the sun
experiment. He did the experiment, so...
there is no experiment that is valid when you don't know the height of the sun.
He knew the height. Well, that's the thing. There was no height for the sun. It gave multiple conflicting positions.
He knew where to put the sun on the flat Earth? That's incredible.
What do you say?
Your guy has a better model than we do. Maybe we should talk to him.
Yeah, well, it's amazing that he was actually able to do it and you guys weren't. But again, all he did was took a flat plane.
You're just lazy and ignorant and don't know it. That's all.
Again, all he did was take a flat plane.
Ignorance isn't an insult.
Again, all he did was take a flat plane and put known distances along that flat plane. Right? That's it. It's as simple as that. All right? And then he compared that to a globe.
It's not as simple as that because he didn't know the distance to the sun, which is the whole fucking experiment of this. Period.
This not about finding the distance to the sun. That's not what the Eratosthenes experiment is.
Yes, it is. It surely is.
No, it's not.
It's showing the curvature
It's
of the
about
Earth,
finding
and
the
you
radius
can't
of the
show
Earth,
what
not
an
finding the
accurate
distance to the sun.
representation of the flat Earth model is without having the known distance to the sun to see where these shadows would be.
Okay, right, that's the point. That's the point. Right, so here we go. Right, stop. Go to that video. Right.
You're not going to stop. No, I'm not going to stop.
Go to that video.
You're believing this garbage.
Again, go to that video, right, and go to about 7 minutes in, and it shows you the conflicting positions for the sun. It shows you how they are different altitudes according to the data.
Great, they're different altitudes. Which one is the correct one?
None of them. That's the point. It gives conflicting information. This is real world data, right? And if you use that real world data to triangulate the position of the sun on a flat plane, it gives conflicting altitudes for the sun. That is the point. It shows that it doesn't match reality.
You can't use the sun way to triangulate. Remember?
That's the point. Yeah, exactly. Because it gives conflicting positions for the sun. Well done. That's the exact point of it. It's showing that.
Because the
No,
sun
that works
moves.
on both models there, bud, because we don't know what the sun is or where it's at. So all of your experimentation is moot in the first place.
So the fact that if we mapped it out on a flat plane based on data, it gave conflicting altitudes for where the sun would be.
What
Isn't
data?
an issue for you? The data of people around the world.
No.
You just asked me what data. I'm going to tell you the data from people around the world that at their local noon took the angle that the sun made a stick cast a shadow. Right? There was multiple people around the world that did this. Right? If you do it with just 2 sticks, like somebody said, it could give you a position for the sun if the Earth was flat. You would be able to calculate it. But if you do it with multiple positions, like Slice Arcane did, with many positions across the world, it shows that the sun, at the same time, would be in multiple different places, which doesn't
You don't know
match
what
reality.
the sun is or where it's at.
We know what the sun is. It's fine. It's a massive ball of nuclear fusion.
You don't know what the sun is or where it's at.
No,
Sorry.
we do know what the sun is. It's a massive ball of nuclear fusion. Spectroscopy tells
Sure
us
it is. Sure it does.
So, there we go. The fact that he also used this data. The fact that he also used. The fact that he also used this data that he gathered. The fact that he also used this data that he gathered to calculate the radius of the Earth shows that it works on a globe.
But it's on a presupposition of the sun being far away, and there's no.
We've measured how far away the sun is.
When Eratosthenes did the sticks and shadows, it works on both. If you have a local sun,
not with more than 2 positions.
you
That's
have,
the point.
You have a local sun that is moving overhead, you can get the same effect as you do one far away.
Not with more than 2 positions. That's the
on
point.
A curved surface.
Again, not with more than 2 positions, which is what Slice Arcane said.
I just posted a demonstration in the live stream with 3 points. One on a curved surface, one on a flat surface. You get the same shadows on both. It doesn't prove either. And even if you're going to try to, it's like you would have to presuppose that the sun is far away.
Yeah,
and that
but
the
you
Earth
haven't
is what's
used
moving.
that to actually
When we
calculate anything.
obviously
All you've done is shown the sun,
we
the
obviously
shadows.
see the sun moving.
All you've done is show the shadows. You haven't used that to actually calculate anything. Again, if you were to use
It's a demonstration that you get the same effect on a flat
but you
work
don't
surface.
get the same effect. You
It's
wouldn't be able.
inconclusive.
Again,
showing
it right there.
Exactly
you wouldn't
showing
be
you
able. You wouldn't be able to use that to calculate the position of the sun, like it
I'm not
shows,
trying to.
right? But you can use it to calculate the radius of the Earth. It works.
You can calculate the radius of that flat table using the very same math, though, Craig. That's the whole argument.
No, you couldn't use that to calculate the radius because there's no
That's
radius
because
on
there
a
is
flat
no
plane,
radius.
right? But you can use that, and the light source, the sticks, and the positions that the shadows that it gives you to calculate the radius of Earth, right? But it doesn't work when there is multiple data points because that means that the light source is coming from different positions. But when you do it, when you map it onto a globe, the light source comes from one place. It shows that they're parallel. As Terry has just posted there, when you take all of those data points and put them together, it shows that the light is parallel coming from the left of the globe.
Terry, stop
Except,
helping, would you?
Again, you don't know what the actual distance of the sun is on the FE model.
We do know what the distance. No, exactly. You're right. We don't. We do not. Right.
So how
but
could you
what we
test
did,
it?
but because we would be able to calculate it if there was a local sun, right?
How?
Because if there was a small and local sun, you would be able to use the rays and the shadows and stuff to calculate the position of the sun. If the sun was small and local, that would be able to be done. But what you find is when you assume that the sun is small and local, and you calculate yeah. But again, Slice Arcane made the assumption as well when he did that experiment.
Yeah.
Right? He made the assumption that the sun was small and local and mapped out on a flat plane. And when you make that assumption that there's a small and local sun, and you're able to use the data that you get to triangulate the position of the sun, you get conflicting positions, which doesn't match reality.
Because you don't know where it is. Look, the sun. What I'm saying to you is that
exactly
the sun
you don't know where it is, and it's showing different positions.
Inside the dome, or the sun could be outside of the dome. There might not be a dome. You don't know the conditions that the sun is going through.
But you would be able to triangulate it if it was like, right. Flat earthers constantly say that you can use crepuscular rays to triangulate the position of the sun, right? That's something that flat earthers always say. And if that's the case, then you can use this method to find the altitude of the sun. But
whether flat earthers say that or not, that doesn't mean that they know where the sun is or what it is, or if it's through glass or some sort of other physical barrier or other medium.
We know what it is, and it's definitely not coming through glass, because spectroscopy would show that.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want.
We'd be able to find if there was a glass dome with radar. That we'd be able to see that. There's definitely no glass dome.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, the sun moves, so it fluctuates.
You know all the classified documents that have ever been released? Sure.
But you can do a YouTube search for. You can do a YouTube search for You can do a YouTube search for Decimal Z's channel, and he actually has a few on there where he's actually triangulated it using the angles to try to get the apparent location, right? A good guesstimation, an estimate where it could be. The sun moves, so it fluctuates, but there is an average on there.
But if you calculate the position based on the angles that the sun makes, assuming the sun is small and local, it doesn't work. It's as simple as that.
Small and local at what height?
Multiple heights, according to the data.
Oh my god, bro.
That's the point.
Exactly.
That is the point. That's what it shows. The data, in reality, shows that if the sun was small and local, it would be in multiple places at the same time.
Comes out with the conclusion you want to come out with. What a fucking miracle. Who thought it? We don't know the variables on this other model, so we're just going to make it up, basically, just like you do in yours, and then say, oh, that's exactly what it was supposed to be. We matched it up exactly how it was supposed to be, with no bias at all, right? What a joke.
How should we measure the distance to the sun? How should we do it then?
Hey, Shane, for 20 minutes, can we just open it up to everyone?
Wait, what do you think we've been doing? Oh, you mean like all the Globers too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Is that all right? 20 minutes. I didn't realize that it was almost 3 o'clock. We've been going for quite a while. So how about for 20 minutes, we open it up to the whole floor of Globers and Flat Earthers. Is that all right?
Nice. Yeah, usually I think they've been piping in anyway, but yeah. We'll make the formal declaration.
So hi everybody, but can you answer that question? You've been debating this whole time that it's not the proper measurement or it doesn't work. So how should it be measured? How would you measure the distance to the sun?
Anybody? The people that were just talking to me about that?
Well, I thought it was directed towards a specific individual. I don't believe we can ever get an actual location because we can only, like an apparent location, which I believe would be very near whatever the effect is that we're seeing as the sun, but it is local, and you can get the placement of that effect that we see as the sun. You can do a triangulation.
Yeah.
And there's an approximation.
Sure. So
but it varies because the sun moves.
You can see it, right? You can see the sun, and you can actually measure where the sun is if you can see it, correct?
Well, you were just asking how, so how would you do that?
The way science does it.
Well, how is that?
Triangulation, I mean, whatever the mean.
That's a forbidden word.
You can do your own measurement and then contest it. So how would you measure the sun's position, or how far it is? How would you do it?
How infuriating! It doesn't matter what answer you give.
Well, if it's all different answers, then one of them should be correct, right?
No, that's not the case either.
Why not?
That's not the case either. Because just because you have a bunch of guesses doesn't mean any of them are right.
Guesses.
That's not how life works.
Yeah, it is. Yes, it most certainly is.
Do you have an example?
Yes, I have a perfect example for you since you're too uncreative to come up with your own. Look at a lightning bug, and you would look at it and go, there's lightning in that bug, or, oh, it's God's holy light coming from the butt of the animal. Are either of those correct? Why don't I come up with 10,000 more that's not the right one and show you how many do I have to get wrong?
How would you measure it? Again, it's the same question. How would you measure if a lightning... What's a lightning? Is it a... You know, those little fly that actually...
yeah, it's a firefly.
Firefly, there we go, thank you. Excuse my French, quite literally. But then if you have an actual firefly, you can measure how the light is produced, or you could check it, right?
Yes, but your guesses have nothing to do with factual reality.
Exactly.
Truth. This is
That's
an
my
awesome
point.
video.
Do what?
I'm stealing
Then
this
why
video.
did you
This is
just
awesome.
say that you could have a bunch of guesses and that one of them would be correct?
No, that's not my... Well, of course,
did.
yeah, one of them will be correct. Not all bunch of guesses.
No.
There is an actual answer, correct? The sun
Yes,
is
but none of your
somewhere
guesses might
in...
be correct. You might find something completely different.
Well, then
all of your guesses-
submit it. What is your guess? How would you know how far it is and where it is? How would you do it?
I couldn't tell you, bud. It doesn't matter what we say.
I know, right? That's
I
the
mean,
point.
there's multiple ways to do it, but there's not going to be anything that any of you will actually consider. It'll always just be an argument to rebut instead of something to consider.
I mean, this is
Right,
epistemology
of course.
101. Epistemology 101.
Al Bob, look in the live stream text.
Oh my.
I mean, we don't have to talk about numbers. We don't have to talk about anything like that. Just how would you do it? That's it.
Well, you just said there was a triangulation, but can't do that because that's not feasible, right? That's not real.
Why?
So,
why not?
Well, apparently I don't know. Ask your Globy friends. Ask them.
I don't have any globy friends. I have normal friends.
You don't have any sort of friends that believe in the globe. None of them.
Normal people. Yeah, they're just
Yeah,
called
that's
normal
it.
people.
Normal people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, they're normal people. Okay, well, those are globers. Those are termed globers in this flat Earth versus glober discussion.
And yet you can't tell me how you would measure where the sun is.
I just
Normal
told you,
people
triangulation.
would say, yeah, just triangulation, or you know, like any other way science actually did it, and all result match. So how would you do it? What will be the proper way of doing it?
All of them match.
Yes.
Incredible.
Yeah, right. I know.
6 to 10 times, but they all match.
It's incredible that these 4 or 5 different scientists measured and came up with the number, and then they were arguing amongst themselves until finally the last one was like, it doesn't matter at what distance we put the sun at.
How did they come up with that number?
We do just as well.
Yeah, but how did they come up with that number?
I don't know.
Assuming Venus was the same size as Earth.
It was a pretty good assumption. Turns out they were right.
Oh yeah, we definitely verified it, and it turns out we nailed it.
Yeah.
we
can just assume that it's a reflection or anything else that's like in the sky, a reflection or.
Yeah. Here's the thing that confuses me is that flat earthers think that making assumptions is a bad thing, but making assumptions is how you find things out. You make assumptions and then you test those assumptions. That's
if it wasn't
how
a bad thing, there
science
wouldn't be
works.
such thing as Occam's razor.
Yeah, Occam's razor totally supports the globe.
Occam's razor says the option with the least amount of assumptions is usually the right one. Why would that be the case if assumptions aren't bad or looked at badly in science terms?
In science, assumptions is what you use to make predictions and hypotheses. That's, you know, a hypothesis is literally an assumption. You're making a guess about what's going on. That's how you do science. You make assumptions and then you test those assumptions.
Then you manipulate to see if that is the actual cause of the effect.
Yeah, you try and disprove your hypothesis. You try and disprove the assumption that you've made. You know, that's
sure,
that's
I
literally
don't
what
think
science
assumptions
does.
are good things in science. We disagree on that.
They're needed in science. They're like part of the scientific method.
No, other than the hypothesis.
You can't make an assumption.
You should try that sometime.
Your prediction is an assumption based on your hypothesis. You know, assumptions are what you need. They're one of the most important parts of science.
No, I disagree.
Well, you can't make
you can
anything,
disagree all
you
you
can't make an
like, but
idea.
it doesn't change the fact that assumptions are extremely important in science.
Does the scientific method works? Yes or no?
Yes.
That's my point. To the flat earthers, does the scientific method works? Yes or no?
Depends on how you define it. Modern science is really, really.
No, the scientific
strong.
method.
There's one definition.
Yeah. Just the scientific method. Does the scientific method work?
Yes, the scientific method works.
Therefore, assumptions are a good thing.
To prove cause and effect.
The scientific method includes assumptions. It's part of it.
If you can't make up an idea to test, then you cannot have the scientific method.
Yeah. Like.
I assume that you have a parasitic infection of the mind, and these parasites are manipulating you as a host and making you believe things that you shouldn't be believing, bro. That's my assumption.
Like what?
That was an episode of series.
Therefore, it's a good thing that I assume that, and therefore it's true.
I mean, that was an episode in series 2 of The Next Generation that they never followed on with that story. To be honest, I was really disappointed. But this isn't Star Trek. There's no parasites in my brain. It's just a fact that assumptions are part of the scientific
Did you
method.
check?
Yeah, actually,
How do you know? Did you check?
I hadn't.
You checked your brain?
I had a scan of my brain quite recently, actually. So, yeah, there's definitely no parasites there.
It might be in the liver, maybe, or somewhere else, maybe.
Who knows? I mean, I've just undergone a large barrage of like medical tests, and they didn't find any parasites.
I mean, you're saying assumptions are good. I just made an assumption, so yeah, right?
Yeah. Okay. So now you have to test that assumption.
How do you test the distance to the sun and came to the conclusion that you were correct?
Radar.
You can do that. And also you claim that the sun is a fire of fall, and you bounce you bounce radar of the fireball.
It's plasma.
Yes.
And yes, you can bounce radar of plasma.
Good afternoon or good evening, Craig. How are you doing?
Hey, Brenda. How you doing?
She's doing fine.
Okay, so I wanted to point out to the flat earthers. I don't mean to interrupt Doofus, though.
Oh, I wasn't saying anything.
I saw your light flash, and I. Science works by modus tollens. It falsifies, and that's what Sly Sparkane did. Sly Sparkane assumed a flat Earth, got multiple positions for the sun. Since the sun can't be in multiple positions, that falsifies a flat Earth. Just like Jeranism recently, or not so recently, falsified the curvature of the Earth.
Boom.
Thanks, Brenda.
Yeah. Yeah, science never proves propositions true. It proves that they are false, and then it gives evidential support. But that support could be overturned any time by new evidence. New evidence could overturn.
Hey, don't. Why are we muting Brenda?
Because they're scared.
Who did that?
Shane, please unmute Brenda. That's not fair.
I don't know who did that. Hold on.
Shane, I apologize for any inconvenience I've ever caused in the past.
Is this
Right, so science works
over
by-
a new page?
So I'm trying. I like the example that MC Toon and Craig are showing, and I would like to follow in their footsteps.
We can start over too.
So science works by the falsification principle. This was introduced right by Karl Popper, which is that it shows that a claim is false. It can never fully prove a claim, but a claim can be so strong that there's no reason that we have just no reason to question it anymore. right? So that's how science works.
Yeah, I like having that religious belief and not being. Yeah, it must be nice not to question things.
Oh no, you can question it.
The opposite. You literally question it, but like when there's no reason to because the evidence is so strong.
Fact. Something that's not supposed to exist in the realm of theory.
A theory is just a confirmed hypothesis. It's strong. It's the strongest possible assertion that you can make in science is a theory.
Just like we could do that test that Sly already. Sorry, I'm not talking, am I?
I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to interrupt. Honestly, I just wanted to say.
Why does everyone who interrupts say that they don't mean to interrupt first?
What's your name?
Weird.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to get a word out sometimes.
I just wanted to say goodnight to everybody, and I wanted to say it was a good debate earlier with Fight the Flat Earth. So I just wanted to wish him a good night and no hard feelings.
Hey, thanks,
I wish
kid.
him good health and good night, man.
Good night, kid. Take care.
God bless you guys.
Good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Have a good
If
night,
every
brother.
flat earther were like him, that would be great.
Hera, we love you, brother. Have you a good rest.
Thank you very much. You as well.
Any other Globers want to suck up to FTFE while he's here? I know you
I
have
would
some
like
fans.
to ask. I don't mind.
No, thank you.
I'll take all the sucking up. My ego needs it.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. Hello from China. I would like to ask about the board with the shadows that Shane is posting all the times. Can he do that experiment with half of the board lit and half in the complete darkness that will copy exactly the shadows as they are on Earth? Thank you.
And it'd be good if the sticks were
You guys-
perpendicular to that as well, Shane.
You guys don't like that one, huh?
Well, it's not really representative of the Eratosthenes experiment, Shane. That's the problem, because
No.
the sticks aren't perpendicular.
Is it the one where he has a glass dome that he puts? Is that the one you're talking about?
No, he's just posted it now in the live stream text.
Oh, the other one. The other one, yeah.
Yeah. So he's got 3 sticks on a board that is both flat and then bent, but none of the sticks are, like, perpendicular to the board.
What do you mean perpendicular? They're literally drilled straight in. And they're perpendicular to level, to your definition of level, when the board tilts, or curves rather.
So my question is, can you demonstrate it with the light, with a continuous view, how half of the board is lit and half is in shadow, like complete darkness, as it on Earth, because half of the Earth is in complete darkness?
How about I make this model 3D? I put a real life dome around it. I put in my own sun. I generate my own atmosphere, and then I show it to you. What do you think?
I want picture. Like I can demonstrate globe and flashlight and demonstrate the Terminator line. Half of the
And we
globe lit and half in darkness.
I'm sorry,
Yeah, so
and we
the
need to
light-
know what it should look like.
The
as
light
well.
patterns are actually perfectly explainable in all models, right? Here's a nice demonstration of all the projections of the globe and the AE projection showing the same light patterns from timeanddate.com to show, the solstice, the winter solstice, and the equinox. So I don't know what kind of argument that is. That's silly.
Physical picture. Make a board where the shadows will correspond with the flat Earth and distances on flat Earth. And that's all. Like, I don't know how far do you think is the sun? Put it in the certain high. Like, what do you think? Where is the sun? And put the half of the board will be fully lit and half in complete darkness with a clear Terminator line. Thank you.
Okay. I think it's about time for me to finish for tonight, guys, because it is now nearly 3:15 in the morning. And I do have children. Although, thanks to the wonders of Scotland, all the teachers are on strike, so my kids aren't even at school. Fuck's sake.
Well, that was way more fun than I thought it would be.
I had a lot of fun tonight. And right, here's the thing, right? Shane knows this, okay? But it's not an appeal to emotion or anything. It's me having fun. If I can see you guys are getting triggered because of something, I'm going to keep doing it. All right? Just because I fucking enjoy it. Learn that.
Yeah, you're a prick.
Don't
We
let
already know
me
that.
trigger you. All right? Don't let me do it if you don't want it to happen.
Don't. That's some good
Oh,
advice.
yeah, for
I give
sure,
them that
yeah. Let me
advice
go out of
every
my way
time
to
you
be a
come
prick.
here.
Shane,
Nobody
you get
can
it.
handle
You understand what's going on.
Yeah.
All right? Yes, this is a debate about the shape of the Earth, and there's some serious discussion here, but this is a lot of fun for me. And when I see the people getting triggered,
I hope the audience
I'm
is listening.
going to push that because my guys fucking love it.
And because
Learn.
it's an easy out.
Yeah,
It's an easy out to
exactly.
not
It's
answer
me
whatever
versus
argument
you,
we're
and
throwing.
Oh, I'll always
the
answer the
evidence for the
argument when I'm
debate.
allowed to. I'll always answer the argument when I'm allowed to, but I will also trigger because I fucking love it. Anyway, thank you very much, guys. Shane, thank you very much for arranging that with Jin. That was perfect. I really do appreciate it. If any of my people that are watching would like to join this Discord that I do this in, the link to it, there's a permanent link now that should stay there in the description. Please join my Discord and join this Discord because they're both great fun Discords to be in. Shane will even be nice enough to like host stuff for you if you bug him enough. You know, it's a good Discord to hang around in and have some fun. Yes, there's a lot of flat earthers in here, but here's the thing, right? I have had a lot of bad experiences with flat earthers, a lot. But the flat earthers here in general have been nice to me. So nice, in fact, that when I had my health scare, they all sent me a card and made me cry like a big fucking baby, which I appreciate, right? They're humans, mostly, I'm sure of it. Shane, right?
Do you want me to confirm that we are in fact humans?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
true, right?
yes, sir,
Yeah.
yes.
And I, you know, this is fun. I disagree with you all very much, but I appreciate you letting me come here and have these conversations, and I also appreciate the care that you showed for me when I did have ill health. So thank you guys, and I will see you again next week.
Well, hold on, Craig, before you go, let me tell you something real quick, just real fast. I got an artificial shin bone of a titanium rod, and my leg is I work every day, but my leg is in agony. So I just want to let you know that hang in there with your leg, brother. You ain't the only one that is dealing with it, and I hope your leg gets better.
I appreciate that.
Or at least starts doing a little bit better for you.
All right. Well,
Yeah, Craig, thanks for everything, man.
the whole situation of going to get it amputated and stuff is underway. I've got a psychiatric assessment soon for that also. Thank you very much for your kind words, and I will see you all next week. Catch you later.
See you later, man.
Well, my goodness, guys, was that not fun? Oh, right. The amount of derp, like the amount of just denial of facts, you know? Jen not understanding the difference between a helicopter and a pendulum. Jesus wept. But you know what? I've just looked over and I've seen the ridiculous fucking amount of super chats you guys have given me. All right, there was like 800 people watching at one point, right? And this is an extremely large amount of super chats. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. I'm never gonna like, paywall my content. You know, I want everything I do to be for everybody. You don't have to come here and super chat. I'm gonna do these streams either way. The fact that you give me so much support is just, look, it's more. Every time it flashes, that means you're sending me a super chat. I honestly, from the bottom of my heart, can't say thank you enough. Just you being here is the support I want. But when you financially support me like this, you don't know how much it means. So I'm going to probably spend the next half an hour reading through all these super chats because you guys are incredibly generous and I love you all. I want to go to bed, so try not to send more super chats because otherwise I won't get to go to bed. We've got, I read those two. Then we've got Snipey McShnent, who's been a member for 1 month, says Jin poops standing up in Japan. If you say so. Siggy Sigweld gifted another 50 memberships. Now, Siggy, in the past couple of weeks, has gifted hundreds of memberships. All right. If you have become a member during this stream, then please say thank you to Siggy in the chat. All right. Siggy Sigweld gave 50 of you watching memberships to my channel. All right. So please, if you became a member today, give a shout out to Ziggy. Say thank you, Ziggy, because not only do I appreciate it, but you should. And then he gave me 900 ARSs. Thank you. He said, did he just thank Jeranism? Oh my god, yeah. He thanked Eric Dubay. He thanked Jeranism and Dearth and Nathan Oakley. Oh my god, he thanked Nathan Oakley.
Hi, my name's Nathan Oakley, and I have been lying to people about the Earth being flat for a lot of years. I did this to hide the fact I have a small penis.
More super chats. And then Siggy Sabro gave me another $5. He said, grab a membership, y'all. Yeah, seriously, guys, please say thank you to Siggy. If you become a membership today, say thank you. And then Bandit for $5 no message, thank you very much. Snipey McSchnet for $10 says, don't insult his intelligence, deny its existence. I don't need to deny it, it's clearly not there. Caucasian Sensation, $10. Is Jin related to Santos? Their perfect match made in Flirderpia there. Yes. Caucasian Sensation, I debated him about whether cannabis should be legal. And he did ask me for a rematch. And I think we should get that on. Because cannabis most definitely should be legal. Especially this. Cookies and cream vape liquid that I made myself. Fucking beautiful. Awesome. Space Tomato for $2, sorry, says, we cooked Black Swan for dinner long ago. Yes. And here's the dumbest thing about the Black Swan, is that no flat earther understands the flat swan argument. The Black Swan argument, the flat swan. The existence of a Black Swan does not disprove white swans. White swans are still there. We now just have to explain both the white swans and the black swans. So, seeing something further than you apparently should doesn't disprove that the Earth has a curve. Just means you have to explain that observation. Simple. Not a Duck for 333 Japanese yen says, Jin, the children want their crayons back. Yeah, he snorted them. Dave Comru for $5 says, FTFE, I have to give you credit to argue with these dull-witted wastes of oxygen. I simply do not have that level of fortitude. I applaud you. Thank you very much. My therapist is very upset that I keep doing this. James Hogarth for £5 says, saying ladies and gentlemen every other sentence doesn't make you sound smart, Jin. No. And yeah, that was Jin's argument. Jin's entire premise was, if you're dumb and ignorant, you might think the Earth's flat. Yeah. Stop being ignorant. Matt Rock for $5 says, Jin is the king of special pleading, as he's very special to plead that he alone can know when the unknowable refraction can be ignored. Yeah, flat earthers all have their own special version of refraction. Steve6464 for $5 says, so Jin, refraction is not an exact science, but flat earth is. Really, Jin, just calm the fuck down. Stringer News 1 for $5 says, for the children! The children did say to me specifically, please keep Jin away. Icy Spin 199 2020 called says they want their Black Swan back. Hannibal True Science for $5 says, a wave! How I want to go to sleep. How embarrassing. Must have been an incoming tsunami, LMFAO. Icy Spin for $2 says, curvature measured. Peace achieved, Nobel. Guys, I'm going to get a Nobel Peace Prize for measuring Earth's rotation. Stringer News 1 for $2 says, here's your Nobel Peace Prize, Craig. Thank you very much, buddy. Hannibal True Silence for $5. No Flerfer understands this because none of them took college physics, plus they never do any research. No flat earther goes to college. Blitzkirk for $5 says, thanks, Jin. Thanks, Jim. Yeah, but thanks, Jin. You notice how Jim instantly got triggered when I was there. I was not talking about you, Jim. That's a red flashy. My goodness. Thank you. Stringer News 1 for $2 says, no, Lord Luminous Poo for $2 says, Dodge denied distrust and dishonorable. And then Stringer News 1 says for $2, hey Jim, why don't we see the sun at night? Jin wouldn't know. Jin thinks the sun is magic. Albius for $5 Canadian says, please buy a cork for Jin next time, G's. And Dr. Acid Punch Drunk, who's been a member for 10 months, says there's evidence and just being dense. You're the latter, Jin. Fuck's sake. Oh my god, I've just seen what my current revenue for this stream is, and this may be one of the biggest ones I've had, guys. I don't know what to say. Like, the support is insane. Lol Watt for $2 says, I for one welcome my pseudoscience overlords. And then Stringer News 1 for $5 says, if the black swan is the bread and butter, it fell on the floor, butter side down. Do you reckon right? Because cats always land on their feet. That if you tied some bread and butter to a cat's back and just dropped it, it would be anti-gravity? Gary Little, $5 says, why do VHF, UHF radio stations depend on Earth's curvature to separate transmitters? Because the Earth's curved. And that's how the technology was developed. Oh, right. I understand. Lord Luminous Pooh for $5 says, did he just tell the British naval man how the British Navy navigates? He did. That's why I laughed. Connor Silverfur, who's been a member for 24 months, that is twice around the sun, says, I've read the Antarctic Treaty. It never says we can't go there. Somehow Flerfs always run away when I ask if they've read it and ask for citations. Yeah. I'm arguing with a Flerf on Facebook at the moment that says you can't go below the 60th parallel. You'll get shot. Steve6464, $5. Do Flerfs need to eat alphabet soup every day to replenish all that word salad? Oh, I'm getting a little choked up with the amount of super chats I've got, so just give me a sec. Stringer News 1 for $2 says, was that a rage stay? Yeah, I trigger them into not leaving. That's always a good one. Stephen, $4.99 says, big bong, time to provide flat earth evidence, Flerfs. They never do. Hannibal, True Science for Silence for $5 says, can I have what you're on? Preferably a huge gravity bong hit, lol. That reminds me, I'm going to end the poll. 62% of you want what I'm on. Well, it's expensive, so no. Stephen, £4.99 says, big bong, time to provide flat earth evidence. No, they never do. Lord Luminous Pooh for $5 says, vote Lord Luminous Pooh for dictator. Vote for me, and you'll never have to vote again. Hannibal True Silence, $5 says, can I have what you're on? Preferably a huge gravity bong hit, lol. Come around for a smoke. String News 1 for $5 says, no, the equator is off limits because Antarctic Treaty. Yeah, you can't go to the equator and do an experiment to prove that nothing happens. That's why the Falklands Pendulum experiment isn't done at the equator, because nothing would happen. OG Yeti for $2 says, it's been done and it didn't process. Yeah, it has been done. I just can't find like a video of it. Icy Spin, $2 says, Craig, you should have T-Jump do one of these with you. T-Jump has been on a couple of times, actually. He's a good dude. Conor Silver for $5 says, here's a $5. Just because Flerfs hate you making money for educating us. By the way, I'm one of those who has learned a lot about physics from you. Thank you, and I'm glad that I can help you. I really am. Albius for $5 Canadian says, hypocrites. Where is their evidence for their dumb ice wall, dome and pancake earth? Oh right, there is none. Why are they so deeply angry? Because they've got no evidence, and it makes them mad. Skidmark McGee, member for 8 months, says, why is it always blah 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 so annoying? Because that's flat earthers. NA for $66.60. Dude, thank you. Honestly, I don't know what to say. I'm still waiting for evidence. Any evidence of flat earth. Yeah, aren't we all, dude? Aren't we fucking all? String News 1 for $2 says, if flat earth was a race, they'd run the wrong way. Conor Silver for $5 says, why does the flat earth say blah blah blah? What does the flat earth say? Blah 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 ding ding. What does the flat earth say? Oh, I'm too tired for this. JS Tiger for $5 says, ocular range of your eyeballs. Say what? We see light that hits our eye. I know. Whenever they start talking about, our eyes have a limit, I'm like, no, they fucking don't. Just out. Get out. JSS Tiger for another $5 says, I do floor flatness and levelness testing for concrete slabs. The flatness is smoothness, while the levelness is the gradient with respect to gravity. That's a bad word. You can't say gravity. It makes them angry. Logical Hillbilly for $10 says, ask a baseball player and a cave explorer for the definition of a bat. You'll get two different answers. The same as a carpenter and a geodetic surveyor will give you different definitions of level. Yeah, I can't believe that woman was arguing that level had been changed. No, just it's a definition you don't like, that's all. Stringer's one for $2 says, Alabama called they're missing some banjos. Lord Luminous Pooh for $2 says, did she just dimmock us? Welcome to Flat Earth. For fuck yeah, I know. Lord Luminous Pooh for $2 says, these people are as useful as a GTA stoplight. Connell Silverfair for $2 says, ignorance can be cured, stupidity is chosen. That's why I say stupidity is not a right, and they need to fight the Flat Earth. Pat in the chat, $10 collectively. Flerfs are the anchor tied to humanity. Ever since the globe was verified, society has dragged them along, kicking and screaming like the tantrum-throwing children that they are. Ain't that the fucking truth? Icy Spin for $5 says, Craig, due to rising Flat Earth stupidity, the facepalm protection level has been raised to 11,000 effective immediately. Stay safe on FTFE. Yeah, in fact, facepalm protection from now on is just infinity. Okay, guys? There isn't enough. Design Song 1 for $5 says, can anyone verify... Oh my god, there's so many super chats. Can anyone verify if this was what it was like for remedial teachers before a class of delinquents? Even remedial teachers didn't have to deal with this shit, man. Far of the QTube family for $5 says, science deniers using technology invented by science to deny science. The irony. Yeah. Always. You're using stuff mostly invented by NASA. Dumbass. Liu Chu, my favourite person from China, for $2.99 says, yo, did you manage to bring him back to our side? No. Everyone in that Discord server is too stuck. Donald Trump Bone Spur became a new member. Welcome to Scrappers. That's 51 members this stream, guys. Thank you. Lord Lunas Poo for $2 says, it's stupid on tap. Oh, ain't that the fucking truth? LBS2 Canadian says, sleep is overrated. I've got to get it at some point, right? Gross Petty for $5 Canadian says, thanks for everything you do, and I love being part of this wonderful team. Thank you for your support. Honestly, I can't say it enough. You guys blow my mind. Your support, I just don't know what to say. Tesla Bitten Radio for $2 says, level Bev. And then we've got Catalia Verin for $50. Honestly, that's insane. Thank you. I spent the last 11 months watching all your videos. Is it possible to feel both dumber and smarter at the same time? Keep up the good fight. That is generally what my videos elicit, is like, your brain hurts, you've suffered, but hopefully you've learned something. But thank you for that crazy level of support, honestly. Oh, I've reached the bottom of the super chats, guys. Cornel Silverfur for $2 says, tonight I got to learn about the Nobel Prize. No, the Nobel Peace Prize, which you can get for measuring the rotation of Earth, apparently. And then Lord Illuminous Poo for $2 says, I'll have a cart bubbler. I'll drop a pic in memes. Well, guys, what a stream. What a night. What a month. February's been a good one. I know that it's been a while since I've released an episode of Flerfs Are Idiots. I put them on the back burner, the scripted videos, whilst I dealt with stuff. Look, there's a lot going on in my life. I've had health issues with my heart. I'm going through the process of amputation for my leg. I'm still dealing with issues with my shoulder. I'm dealing with a court case. My dad has been diagnosed with lymphoma, and that's cancer we're having to deal with. My kids are constantly off of school because of strikes and stuff. And life's just a bit hard. So I put the actual scripted videos on the back burner so that I could focus on at least giving you content when I'm dealing with my stuff. And the support for it has been insane. March is going to be the month where I start pumping out the videos. I've got a whole bunch kind of ready to go. I need to get my... You didn't fucking do that, did you? I need to get my top left 2023 video ready, which is Witsit. It'll probably be a few days late because, you know. Lord Lunas Poo for $2 says, wasn't this a Flerfs or idiots? Yes, it is. But thank you. And NA just gave me $100 and says, have a good night, FTFE. I don't know what to say. That's insane. I'm dealing with a lot in my life. A lot, right? I'm struggling. It's hard. I'm in pain. There's stress. There's depression. And then shit like this happens. And you guys show me this level of support. And it blows my fucking little mind. Thank you from the bottom of my cold black heart. Thank you for the crazy levels of support that you guys show me. And NA. Dude. Thank you. Darren DeBaron, member for 15 months, says, wish I could do an actual super chat, but I'm poor. I and everyone else here appreciate everything you do. Don't apologise for everything. You're perfect. Dude, you're a member. You're here. You're watching my streams. That support is more than I could ever ask for. March is going to be, like I said, a good month. I'm going to get a bunch of videos out. I am going to do a video explaining a bit more about my mental health and stuff. And then once I've finished dealing with this court case, I'll do a whole explanation of that. And then Lord Lunas Poo, another $20 for everyone that says they can't afford one. Thank you. So, you know what? Just because I'm going to play Airplanes again.
Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now.
Good morning, these words come with a storm warning. Better batten down the hatches, grab some matches and brace yourself for a long day of misery. YouTube has given me the power to reach up into the sky and show you all that we live on the ball. I bring you science that's comprehensible. Your view is indefensible. You're reprehensible. Go on, Mr. Sensible. When I was young, I never thought I would be here to see this. A pile of random idiots dressed up as bullshit. Your ignorance will be the death of us all, like running head first, full speed into a wall. You could always read a book by a telescope, set it up and take a photo of the moon, or just be a buffoon. I send you in a balloon to the stratosphere, page 3.
You're a few fries short of a happy meal. You're dumber than a box of hair. The wheel's spinning but the hamster's dead, and you're as smart as bait. You forgot to pay your brain bill. You're missing a few buttons on the remote control. 24 cents short of a quarter. You're surfing in Nebraska. You're as bright as Alaska in December, and you fell out of your family tree. You don't have all the cornflakes in one box. You got an IQ of 2 and it takes 3 to grunt. The elevator doesn't go all the way up, and there's a vacancy on the top floor. Your antenna doesn't pick up all the channels. You're several nuts short of a fruitcake.
You're Mr. Sensible, calm down, don't go too hard. You don't need to have Siberian Flerfs in your backyard. You're a man of science, poise and grace. Mage 2 did everything to wipe the grins off the face.
Space
so
Tomato, $2 says,
from those kids. The world is not flat and it doesn't have a lip. Recognize the differences between the textbook and the Bible and control yourself. Lay off your slander and your lies. You're a bunch of knobs poisoning the well of the youth, spreading lies that you like to claim as knowledge and truth. Stop spreading fresh bullshit like the butter on your bread. Maybe a musical assault knock some sense into your head. I hope one day you'll hear these lyrics and smile, and you realise you used to be a 40-year-old child. Now it's time to wake up, open your eyes and see.
Thank you,
acknowledge the existence of.
You're a few clowns short of a circus. Your phone is off the hook. Your sewing machine is out of thread. You're all phone and no beer. You You don't have all your doubts on one leash, an intellect rivaled only by garden tools. There's no grain in your silo, and your skylight leaks a little. Your belt doesn't go through all the loops. You couldn't pour water out of a boot without instructions on the heel. Your slinky's kinked, and you're proof that evolution can work in reverse. A few feathers short of a whole duck, one fruit loop short of a full bowl.
Airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars. Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now. Can we pretend that airplanes in the night sky are like shooting stars? Should be wishing for a brain right now, brain right now, brain right now.
You thought it was over? Well, I'm still standing while you're swinging, flinging feces, talking shit just like the human centipede. You got the mind of a chimp, and I'm here to expedite your shore leave. Cause I'm a seaman, but not the kind I ripped up when your mum's gums. I'm the kind that sailed submarines and fired guns. I could float a boat across the ocean with my eyes closed, circumnavigate the globe with a compass and a bag of sausage rolls. Well, all you can do is nibble on your toes. I'll smack you with the hose that you taught a water level, sit and swivel. You nasal gazing muppet, you can stuff it harder than the wallet stuffed by Warren Buffett. And I don't care about your sauces unless you're serving them. And I don't care about your lines unless you're curving them. Oh my step away from me, you're sucking up my oxygen with the vacuum where your brain should be, you dumb fuck. What the fuck are you guys doing? That's another $159 from Lucci. It's just... I just don't know what to say that hasn't been said already. It makes me feel both sad and happy at the same time. You are the best person I've ever watched teaching me about physics, and you have definitely taught me a lot, so thank you for everlasting content. Stop. And then Dylan Gadshot, not only did he just give me $20, but it's his first super chat that he's ever given. He says, depression is hard. I battle myself. Hang in there, brother. Thanks for everything you do. You guys honestly make my world. Thank you. Stupidity is not right. Fight the flat earth. Fight the flat. 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 Fight the flat.